Hey there, what's up? If this is your first time here, thank you. Thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for watching the videos. But first things first, I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Coach Franco Rolyoda. I'm on Instagram, @Franco Rolyoda. And I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Twitter. I use the same name. So, I'll see you there. Now, let's watch this episode. In 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. And grabe, this is as Tito as Titos can get. These are your Titos of Fighting. I'm Franco Rolyoda, Carl De Mesa, JC Reyes, and we are here in the presence of Tito James Deakin. Okay, Tito James, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Folks? What's up, boys? Thanks for having me.
We are going to talk a lot about fighting. We are going to primarily discuss, breakdown, and analyze the recent UFC 261. But before anything else, we would like to announce lang that a Warriors Call, this is the Elorde and VSP Promotions, the boxing event, has been rescheduled to May 1. That's a Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Urdaneta Cultural and Sports Center. So a Warriors Call, Fight for Supremacy. This one is headlined by Charlie Suarez, and he is up against Cañada Jr. If you look back to our previous post, I did a small interview with Charlie Suarez, really good fighter, one of the rare fighters that actually fought Vasily Lomachenko. He is headlining that event. The only Pinoy, actually. Then they had a really good fight. So again, a Warriors Call, Fight for Supremacy. It will be rescheduled to Saturday, May 1, 2021 at Urdaneta Cultural and Sports Center. So more details, please follow VSP Promotions and Elorde Productions. So UFC 261, we are going to break this down. Let's start off with Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute. I mean, it's one of those fights wherein like the first half of this event was leg kicks, and leg kicks. Okay, so Anthony Smith, for those who want to have a better understanding of what happened, it was a calf kick. So the calf kick landed on the side. So if you look at your knee, so the front is the kneecap, then it's the patella. If you touch the outside, that is one of the more softer side of, or the softer part of your knee. Okay? So yung harap, yung likod, ano yan, matigas yan. It can withstand pressure. It's the sides. That's why a lot of kickboxers and high-level Muay Thai fighters, whenever they do a low kick, it's they're really good.
Usually the target.
Oh, that's the target. Normally yung iba, the ones who are beginning or tentative, they would target the thigh. Pero the really high-level ones, ang tinatarget talaga lang yung gilid nung tuhod. Okay? Because
there's the... Is it a similar kick to what happened to Sugar Sean?
That was probably something similar.
Same thing?
Similar.
Yeah. The Cejudo and the Sugar Sean phenomenon.
Yep.
Okay. Right.
There's this for sports doctors or for other like if correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, okay? There's this nerve, okay? It's if I remember correctly, it's the peroneal. It's the peroneal nerve, okay? It's the peroneal nerve. So these are like two nerves na magkadikit. So once you hit that nerve, normally you lose sensation on your ankle. Yan. So when you get kicked at the side of the knee, yung ankle mo ang magbabuckle kasi it's the nerve ending.
Weird.
Yes, that is weird.
So weird.
It's the support system that buckles, not the leg.
Diba? If you watch the fight, the kick landed on the side of the knee, and then buti pa nga yung kay, di ba, James, yung kay Sugar Sean medyo naitatapak niya pa di ba? He was able to stabilize pa. Ito, yun yung medyo instant. The moment na nag-contact na siya, you put weight on it, it's a stabilizing nerve kasi. It tells your foot na, so it tells you.
That's why we check like kicks.
I'm sorry. I can take watching somebody get punched in the face like over and over again, but if it's
iba pag legs,
ankle,
no?
Like Weidman and Crute.
Wala tayo dyan. We're gonna go to the Weidman. We're gonna go to the Weidman fight later. So actually, yun nga parang buwelo siya, di ba? It was a good, parang the storyline of UFC 261 was like, everything was developmental. Like, you couldn't write a better script for this event.
Also, notably, lahat sila knockout TKO.
Everything was a finish. The main cards were a finish. Lahat sila finish.
nothing went past 2 rounds, no?
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's why kaya nga yung mga bubli ng pay-per-view, sulit yung bayad kasi ang bilis nung ang bilis na, ang bilis. I mean, for us, if you're working backstage at an MMA event, parang pag nakita mo knockout, sabi ko, yes, mabilis yung gabi natin. Maaga tayo makakauwi nito. Maaga tayo makakauwi nito. So again, if we're mistaken, please put it in the comment section. We would love to hear your comments. We would love to know what you think about this event. Put them all in the comment section.
I actually wonder, Coach, meron bang ibang historically, mayroon bang ganitong nangyari na sa UFC, di ba? Na lahat knockout yung
Parang wala pa.
Parang wala pa.
Siguro yung mga earlier yan.
Rare,
Parang rare yan, rare.
And a casual said to me today, because you brought it up too about sulit yung pay-per-view. Well, the casual said to me, and it's interesting to point out, the people who paid, did they feel robbed? No, but it's a nice perspective. Like all of us are like, no, of course not. It was like, yeah, but they paid for. No, that's not how it works. But, I can see where they're coming from, diba?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't get my money's worth. No, it's not like that. It's not like you're buying gas or
you need to get the mileage, diba?
You just want impact. It's impact you want.
Yep,
it's an
that is
experience
true.
you want.
A whole card of no contests or DQs.
Or lahat decisions, di ba? Ang pangit din naman pag puro decisions Ang haba-haba tas puro decisions. Aljamain Sterling. Pero that was controversial. There was so much.
That wasn't DQ. Yeah, it was.
That was a DQ. Yeah, that was a DQ.
Okay.
So it was parang anticlimactic pero parang nagulat na tao. Weirdest.
I have a shot of I took a screenshot. And it's the weirdest winning picture you'll ever see in your life. His face is what the fuck? The red. Everybody, and there's a trophy, and he's like, it's weird.
It's weird.
Everything in one photo. It's just like, wow.
Diba? Tapos he got so much flack, and then si Carl naman predicted, he said, nako, okay dyan, the next few days tignan mo, I'm the champ. Kami naman hindi so martial artist. Sakto, the next few days here comes Aljamain, nagpo-post sa Twitter, nagpo-post sa Facebook, I'm the champ. I am the legitimate champion.
And you know what's funny? I mean, I'm never gonna throw shade at fighters because like I say, anyone who steps in that cage, even the wimpiest guy.
Yeah.
As soon as they step in that cage, I have my respect.
Yeah.
But he went and called out Demetrius Johnson. He'll get kakampe, diba?
He tweeted Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, and then Demetrius like, I actually like the rule. What? No! I was looking for kakampe.
Naghanap siya ng kaakibat pero wala pala siya, di ba? So ano talaga yan?
What happened to him? That was
it shows you it shows you how violent the sport can be and then the possibilities given the rule sets. Now it just so happens that the UFC and the ONE FC operate on different rule sets. So kaya siguro naghanap ng kakampi tong si Aljamain, 'di ba? Then medyo na siya medyo na cockblock siya ni DJ dun na parang I actually like the rule. Medyo it's fine.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming.
It is. That's what happens when you're the GOAT. You don't give a shit.
'Di ba?
Yeah.
So ano yan? So if there are doctors in the comment section, like I think that's the peroneal nerve. That's the stabilizing nerve, and then if you get hit there, medyo matagal yung recovery talaga . The only people I've seen to na naka-recover doon. As in, di ba pinalakad siya? That's standard operating procedure na parang if you need to be able to put weight on that foot. So he was made to walk. Pero nung naglalakad siya, kita mo parang gumagano-gano na. Like,
okay. Do you think how do you think Crute was doing before that?
He was doing pretty well.
He was okay. He was okay. Oh, he was okay. He was building rhythm. He was building rhythm, and then Anthony Smith his goal was to make sure that he would maintain a certain amount of distance. Kasi yun nga, Crute was going for his takedowns or MMA 101. If your opponent is trying to get close to you, your job is to create more distance. Because if you create more distance, you're throwing them off their game plan, you're throwing them off their rhythm. Then that's the time na you mount some you mount some kind of offense. Kasi pag napansin mo na okay, off rhythm na yung kalaban ko, the moment I start on the offensive, mas mag-a-adjust siya. It happened at the time wherein Crute was doing his best to take him down or getting to a certain amount of distance. Parang ano lang he was trying to bridge that gap. So Anthony Smith, great distance, leg kick, bang! Sakto. So, sobrang ano yun, sobrang
It was like
parang ano siya parang sudden twist of fate yung mga ganong klaseng laban For it's very common in Muay Thai fights. It just so happens na Muay Thai fighters kasi they've built this traditional type of training wherein they kill all the nerves in their legs. So every time they get kicked sa shin, they get kicked sa ano, wala na, they don't feel it anymore.
They keep the banana trees, no? Or bamboo trees.
Banana trees are the first level. Second level pataas, you take a arni stick or a rattan stick. Then you roll it down. You roll muna, so roll. Then eventually it's gliding. So gliding. Then third one, next level would be you periodically tap your shin with the stick. Yun. You periodically.
Before I lose my question, because it's related to this whole thing. Because I keep saying how freak this peroneal nerve. Okay. Because I keep saying that how rare this when Cejudo got it, Sugar Sean got it, and then now Crute got it. Do you still give credit to Smith and those who are throwing it that they're really targeting it, or do you think they got a little jamba?
Definitely, it's part of the training. It's part of the evolution of the sport. Everyone thought that the early stages, a low kick should be inside the leg or outside the leg. So whenever you hear commentaries or analysts say inside leg kick, outside leg kick, it was automatically given dun sa thigh area. Pero when people started noticing high-level kickboxers, they see Cedric Doumbé, they see si Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya came from kickboxing. Tapos they saw Benson Henderson. They saw that people were doing calf kicks. Then they saw that a lot of Muay Thai fighters who would go to the US or Dutch kickboxers, European kickboxers go to the US. So initially this high-level kickboxers showed the MMA fighters of today now, why are you kicking the muscle? Why are you kicking the thigh? That's the muscle.
You can kick the calf.
Kick the calf, kick the side of the knee. Because that's the
strategy ni coach, ni Dustin. You can see it there.
Dustin Poirier is implementing the same thing. Medyo it's the year of the calf kicks ngayon. People are seeing the potential of the calf kicks.
Well, after Weidman, parang coach, ayoko na mag-calf kick.
Iba naman yan. Okay. Ibang medyo iba yung understand, iba yung magiging explanation natin dyan for the Weidman fight.
Pause lang a slow second because I'm way behind you guys.
Okay lang yan.
So much.
Yes.
So when you have something like the year of the calf kicks, just like you had the decade of the Gracies, or what felt like a century of the Gracies, that sort of sport evolves, no? What's the contra to the calf kick? Because obviously the newbie's gonna say, the casual's gonna say, well, let's just all kick each other's calves until we get the calf kicking champion, because that's obviously the strongest thing. But there's obviously risk and reward all the time.
Actually,
who mentioned that kanina about the
in the UFC roster right now, the really ones that I see that can really catch a really good calf kick, or yung mga nakaka-check na, tawag doon is checking the kick So
checking the kick.
Justin Gaethje, believe it or not, it's so easy. You go on your heel, so this is your foot. You go on your heel, and then just turn it outside.
Turn it outside.
He has a video recently about that.
That was it.
Very recently he was showing about,
That's the only, yan na yung pinaka, So it's either
what Uriah Hall did was a defense for the
one.
Okay, so what Uriah Hall did is the exact counter for why, not the whole UFC will do this. Because with the wrestling, it was the knee of Masvidal that frightened the wrestlers. But we'll get to that later on because we're going to talk about Usman. Because, all right.
So for the calf kicks kasi, yung calf kick kasi, it's a modified version of a low kick. So for kickboxers talaga, if you go to the kickboxing world or the Muay Thai world, the calf kick has been there for years. If you ask them,
we're not going to see an era now of just dominant calf kicks for the rest.
A lot of people are from how I see the evolution of MMA now is it's going to be an integral part of training. It's going to be part of everyone's arsenal. Just like like during the
Something that should have
90s.
been there for a long time.
For a
It's
long
been
time.
there ever since, pero ngayon lang nakikita ng tao yung potential.
Yeah. There are
Just
fads din kasi
Yeah.
within the MMA.
Like
Yeah.
the shoulder
Diba?
strikes ni Conor.
Oh yeah, yung shoulder shrug ni Conor, matagal na rin yun. Mark
Oo.
years pa yun eh. Di ba?
Then
Matagal
there was
na
all
yun.
that spinning shit with Edson Barbosa.
Yeah.
Started.
Yun, matagal na rin yun. So,
Yeah.
we were just seeing fighters kasi. We're just seeing fighters that specialize in certain techniques. So, everyone kind of has the same tools. Kasi 'di ba prior when MMA started during the 90s, you're either a striker or a grappler. Yun yun, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Then because people wanted to be purist. And then eventually they started realizing, they started opening their eyes na if I want to fight in mixed martial arts, I have to learn both. Then people started training both. Then they started integrating it in their training. The same way, the same evolution is happening now. A lot of people thought that you should have striking and grappling. And then everyone started doing it. So now you have to have that differentiating factor. So for example, Wonderboy Thompson, he would always use his karate, his gauge, his distance, di ba? Si Gaethje naman, he would always use pressure. Si Khabib would do the same thing. Pressure naman siya, pressure fighter.
Speaking of Khabib, yung Dagestani handcuffs, they were saying
Dagestani handcuffs was there ever since. di ba? So Conor naman counter punching. Nate Diaz was trash talk plus boxing. So nagkakaroon
and zombie.
And marijuana.
And so, I mean, don't forget, man. That guy was just
the CBD and the THC.
walking dead, man.
Yes.
Integral. to the
Diba?
209.
Yeah.
The integral ingredient of his ano. So the same goes with the calf kick, diba? Everyone saw the calf kick is working. People are winning with calf kicks. It starts to become just like what Carl said, it's a fad, pero now people will I think fighters will now integrate calf kicks into their arsenal.
And
Diba?
look for
Kasi
better defenses
They
for
don't want to
it.
lose that way anymore. Yeah.
Diba? Tsaka ano siya, tawag dito, it's better to and the reason why you learn it, it's so that you can defend it. Yun yung pinaka ano doon. You learn it so that you can defend it. If you know how to properly time a calf kick, medyo believe it or not, yan, yung maganda yung question ni Tito James, okay? Calf kicks, marami rin nagtanong sa amin. It's just that. Yung sinabi ko, put your foot down, go on your heel, turn to the outside.
Turn it outside.
So, yung sisipa ng calf kick, ang sasalubungin niya, ito. So, ito yung shin nyo, ito ang sasalubungin niya. So, it's gonna be shin on shin, mas masakit yun sa kanya.
Yeah.
Actually,
Just for added detail, parang
That's what
siyang
happened with
ruler.
the Weidman thing.
Yung
Parang siyang
flat
ruler.
ng ruler, yung
Yeah.
hard side ng ruler.
Oh.
ganun na
you're
mangyayari.
twisting it like that,
Yep.
like that. So
Yep, that's
Uriah gave him the
The
sharp
edge.
end of the ruler.
Yes.
Right?
That's what happened.
And then
That's it.
How hurt does Uriah get if he does the technique correctly?
It's
Does he
just,
still get very hurt?
yeah, he still gets hurt.
Still get hurt.
Pero ano siya, para siyang, you can actually
Hurt the other guy
say
more,
na,
It's
para
like
siya
hitting your
yung,
face.
para siyang dalawang basketball players na nagbanggaan ng tuhod. Yun yung naramdaman ni Uriah Hall. That's what he felt.
Yeah.
Pero
I guess
the
there's
impact-
always pain in every exchange.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you're doing a
There is.
comparison, it's like what hurts more? When you get punched in the face or when you're when you hit the guy's fist with your head.
Oh yeah,
Right?
definitely.
There's no comparison.
There's
right?
no comparison there.
Yeah.
Tapos ano siya, the other counter is to just lift your foot.
Yeah.
If you watch Sanchai and Buakaw, when
That's it.
Why?
when
Because
people
it just
Hindi,
flies
you
away.
just so
It's
it's,
flat.
ang trajectory kasi ng normal kick, leg kick. So bito tayo ng konti. Ang trajectory ng kick ganyan, pak.
Yeah.
So si calf kick pag ganun.
May arc pababa.
May arc pababa.
May arc siya pababa.
May arc pababa yan. So if this is the leg, pababa, iangat mo lang. Susubsub lang 'yon.
Kaya ganun lang siya, oo.
Oo, susubsub lang siya.
Yeah.
So normally
But safe to say it's not a secret weapon talaga.
It's
because
not.
It's still
It's
still
not.
a
It's not.
something you really need to develop.
yes,
There's a lot of
yes, you have to
There's a lot
drill
of
it.
reward.
Yep. That's true.
It's kind of like the Masvidal knee.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Everyone he planned that.
He planned
and I
that
like
because
that
it
how
was
he's
Ben
breaking
as well.
And it was Ben as well.
Mhm.
But even I think like it was Hardy was breaking down and saying, it's everything was planned, but still the chances of it landing
Yeah.
are so small.
Yeah.
So you
100%.
have got to give the guy full credit because yes, maybe 99 times he does that, he'll miss.
Mhm.
But he got it right.
He got it right for
And when
one
the-
night.
Sobrang grabe. Yeah.
When it mattered.
Yes, when it mattered and
Yes.
5 seconds. Faster, one of the
Jesus
faster.
was with Street
Yeah.
Jesus that
Yeah,
day.
Jesus was with Jesus, diba? He was baptized, diba?
Baptized!
He was
This is a fresh
baptized.
moon. Stop.
Diba?
I just
Go,
want to
go.
wrap up Crute because this guy I think is an up and I think this guy is somebody to watch.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad he lost in the way he lost because I kind of see this guy going very far and you need that loss to. I mean, at some point that's really going to come and you grow from that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone says you learn from your losses. So
Yeah.
this, if you're going to take a loss under the lights, this is a good.
This
one
is the
to do
good
it
time.
with because,
True.
yeah. But yun lang, I don't think he was able to get enough experience from that kind of level fighter or ranked fighter. He didn't get enough rounds with him. But
Yeah.
I thought he did very well. I think that guy's got a lot of potential in the division. So yeah, he's somebody to watch out for.
Definitely.
Sure.
Definitely. The mere fact na
Plus-
sinama siya sa UFC 261 na fight card, it's a clear indication
Yun.
of the UFC seeing the potential in him.
On a main card.
Yeah.
On a main card.
Because it's not Australia. It's not like
Yeah.
we need to find he's far
Yeah.
from Florida.
Yep. So ano siya, it's good.
May chance pa rin yan, guys.
Mm.
He has a chance. He can actually appeal. This loss to the Sugar State Athletic Commission.
Yep. He can. And he will.
can.
Yeah.
And the
Tapos-
Sugar State Athletic Commission has already overturned one,
Mm.
right?
Tapos
So
ano
Sugar
yan,
Sean
tawag dito,
is still
i-call out lang niya uli. Call out niya uli si Anthony, diba? We gotta run it back. We gotta run it back.
But you know, what do you guys think of Sugar Sean's antics with his undefeated? Dude, I'm loving every second of it. I'll be the first to say I bit the bait. I'm on the train. Dude, I love the guy's social media. I love how delusional he is.
Yeah.
You've seen how he's got his merch all 13-0.
Oh. Yeah,
You've
bata
seen
ni
that,
Carl yan. I-explain ni Carl yan. Bata ni Carl
I
yan.
love that guy. I mean, I know it's ridiculous. I'm not trying to pass him up and up, but my God, the confidence you have to have
To have
sit in front of
very
DC.
high.
Yeah. DC asked him point blank. He goes, God, man, I gotta ask you, what's with this not accepting the loss thing? I mean, come on. He's like, oh, the gig's up, right? We're not on Twitter anymore. Dude, he was so calm when he just said, yeah, but dude, so calm. Like you're doing, is he kidding around and he knows it? What's his game? Because he goes, no, the Sugar State Athletic Commission's already overturned. And he said, dude, he didn't break. His face didn't break. So I'm like, wow, this guy's
Magaling
amazing.
umacting. Yeah.
Galing.
Okay,
Ang galing niya.
And then, so he's selling his merch. People are buying his merch. They love it, whatever. But here's a question. I'm not trying to rain on his parade at all in any way. Good luck to him, and I enjoy the show. But is there any kind of fraud involved? Because these are still audited figures. This is livelihood we're talking about. I know what he's doing. It's like, no, I'm undefeated because in my mind I'm mentally
In my
undefeated.
mind.
Yeah, he literally says this. This is his story. He's pushing it out there. People are buying it. It's fun until you guys are in martial arts. That's a currency. That record is a currency.
Yeah.
Even if you're just screwing around, even if you're just like playing the game and WWEing yourself, medyo there's like Kobe Covington doesn't go and say, he accepts the loss. He'll trash talk, but he won't change his record.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Sugar Sean's officially trying to change his record, but you follow it. But he is, I guess.
It's just
Yeah.
another form of spin, James.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
another form of spin. Usually kasi, pag ganyan, kunyari may isisell nga siya, may endpoint siyang ganun, di ba? The thing is, you'll still watch him now, whether he wins
I'm
or
watching
loses.
every time.
Yeah,
I'm watching all the time.
exactly.
I love what he's doing to his character, right? He's bringing this whole thing. But
He
then
also looks
it
like
just
Sideshow
crossed
Bob now. Right?
Exactly. And it just crossed my mind, though. I mean, and I'm not trying to range parade, but it crossed my mind. I thought, wait, technically speaking, that you're printing merch under this 13-0, but okay, are you taking it too far? Is the question. Does anyone feel that way?
I don't think
No?
so.
Just
it'll
like-
be great when he next probably sells his CBD oil. Malamang. Yun na
Yeah.
yung next level niya.
Oh,
Even
see.
the back of his head. Did you see the back of his head? They did the leaf.
Yep.
They
did
the
the leaf,
braid.
yeah.
Was up.
Oh, they did the leaf sa kanya. Ako naman kasi the way I see what Sugar Sean is doing, he is one of the few fighters who actually knows the game and he knows how to play the game. He saw that fighters who were just fighting and they were leaning on their victory, nakasalalay dun sa victories yung career nila.
Yes.
Versus Sean O'Malley, who decided to create this character who was more or less close to his personality. Yun yung ginawa ni Sugar Sean O'Malley. Diba? So,
and he's very active in the gaming world. Huh?
Yeah. So
he's got this social media presence already.
Exactly. That's exactly like I told several fighters na mga kaibigan namin na parang if you want to look at a really good business model for your career, look at Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
He created this character wherein he exudes a lot of confidence, but at the same time, he can back it up. So he trains hard, he works hard, but at the same time, he created this character wherein he would say, "I'm 13-0. In my mind, I'm undefeated." Diba? So people gravitate towards characters eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Look
and
at
it's
Conor.
not a stretch for him kasi, diba?
Oh, it's not a stretch kasi hindi rin naman siya, it doesn't take too much out of his personality like Conor na kailangan laging galit, kailangan you have to look at something, you have to talk, you have to be witty.
That's why si Conor ngayon, diba? Hindi na natin mabay yung parang really good guy Conor. Right?
Kasi we got so used to it. Diba? We got so used to it. Tapos si Sugar Sean O'Malley ngayon, okay, ayan, diba? I'm the steady guy, I'm the weed guy, diba? I'm undefeated. Nag-branch out siya ngayon. Social media, Twitch, 'di ba? Naging gamer siya eh. So, yan, si JC pa nga yung una nakapagsabi, si Sugar Sean O'Malley, he's branching out. He's not just on UFC anymore. He's on Twitch, he's on CBD, he's doing so he's expanding his demographic.
Yeah.
So when they see Sugar Sean the fighter, people say, okay, he's a fighter. But if they see Sugar Sean the character, wherein he's very chill,
alam nila yun.
Diba? He has very colorful hair, diba? Na he talks in a very smooth way. Tapos, diba? So they look at the character and then they look at the fighter. Yun yung ginagawa niyang model.
It's good.
Diba?
He's
It's
doing it really
good.
well. Did you see one of his I think the embedded of he was fighting on Ngannou's card ba? Okay. There was an embedded where he walked past Ngannou. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then he said to his coach, I think he got a little intimidated.
Yeah, diba? I mean, it's
How can you not
different.
love the guy?
Anyway.
It's weird. I don't think you
I
can
love
intimidate
that.
the guy who used to work in a mine.
Oh,
You
diba?
not just have jumped on a boat, got caught, got put in the
Exactly.
desert. You know, oh my God.
Grabe yung
But
buhay
you
ng
wonder-
Ngannou. Grabe.
He's super. I think he's next level troll. You know, he really knows. He really knows the game, like you said. And he's. I mean, like I didn't start out as a Sugar Sean fan. I initially thought, what's this? Sideshow Bob was the exact thing that came into my head. I was like, who's this
He
guy?
does look like Sideshow Bob.
He really does. He really does. And then
Kulang na lang yung
like-
malaking shoes eh.
And then I watched, of course, like we all did, you know, those walk-off KOs, and how could you not be impressed? And man, he just dialed up that character, dialed it up.
Diba? Nag-ano siya, isipin mo nga lang yung buhok niya parang si Tekashi 69 eh. Diba? When I saw okay, he's trying to
Not
be...
for nothing, man.
Diba? He's trying to do the Tekashi 69 hair. Okay,
Oh,
so I hope
He
it doesn't
probably
get...
actually raps better than Tyrone.
I would listen to a Sugar Sean O'Malley rap album than a Tyrone Woodley rap album. Okay, I would listen. Okay,
My kid said to me that one of the best comments he saw with the Triller was he said the
Yeah.
only way that event could have been worse if his Tyrone Woodley had rapped in between rounds.
si JC gagawa po ng petition. No. Gagawa si JC, ano yung petition mo ulit about Tyrone Woodley?
I think I'll have to start a petition for the UFC to re-sign Tyrone Woodley, or else he'll make a new album.
This is
too much
a
time
matter of
now.
public safety.
Yes.
Public service na yan.
Sinulat yung sa GC namin, post si JC, nasa meeting ako, tumawa ako mag-isa. Sabi ko, nga, I'll sign that petition. Sabi ko, there's just no way. I'm like,
No way, man.
come
It's so
on.
bad. I'm sorry.
It's so bad.
Rap is so
diba?
bad.
So he's better off fighting. He's better off fighting. So
Yes.
please, Tyron Woodley, Dana White, please keep Tyron Woodley in the 170. Pero for the
Begging
next
you.
one, we are going
You
up.
should do
Okay, we're
that.
going up in the middleweight division, 185 pounds. Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. Now
Oh,
this
my
has
Wild
God.
one.
this story. Okay,
Oh, no.
this fight
Yeah.
came full circle. Okay, so it was. So
Yeah.
ano lang, bilisan natin konti. Chris Weidman gave Uriah Hall his first loss. His first loss in his MMA career, and then afterwards Chris Weidman beat Anderson Silva. The second time they fought, the first time or the second time that the second time they fought, Weidman was able to snap on Anderson Silva's shin.
Yeah.
And then
8 years ago.
8 years ago, and then afterwards Uriah Hall and Anderson Silva fought. A lot of people said na it's one of those passing on the torches kind of fight. And then afterwards, as fate would put it, di ba, Chris Weidman fights Uriah Hall. And Uriah Hall beats Chris Weidman with the exact same technique that Chris Weidman defeated Anderson Silva with. Okay?
I
Sobrang,
cannot take that replay. I'm sorry.
diba? I saw the full circle. Shout out to Rico Robles. Rico Robles even
Yeah.
gave, ang ganda nung diagram niya dun sa MMA math na yon, the timeline. So,
May math talaga.
oh, di ba yung MMA math timeline? Grabe. Sabi ko, grabe, full circle tong laban na to.
Karma,
Now, for everyone who's gonna watch and listen to this, it was a shin-on-shin action, but more of a shin-on-knee action. So, this is how. So, teka lang di ko alam paano ko. So,
Ito na.
think of this
Diagram na
as
yan.
your, this is your shin, this is your knee. So, this is kneecap, this is shin. Okay? So, this is the lower part. So, dito yung ankle. Dito yung ankle, ito yung kneecap. Anything. Okay? So, hatiin nyo sa kalahati. Hatiin nyo sa kalahati yung tuhod, yung shin nyo. Anything in the middle. Anything that hits the middle breaks the leg. So, this is your, I hope I don't mess up my, so it's the tibia, fibula. So, these are bones. If you hit the bottom part, kaya if you watch low kicks, okay, it's always the bottom half part of the shin that actually creates
That breaks.
contact. Okay, it's the point of the leg that creates contact. Yun yung masakit. Now there's another subjective debate to this. It's either toes down or toes up. It really depends on the fighter. Pero ito yung anatomical talaga na explanation doon. Anything, okay? We'll go back to Carl de Mesa's ruler analogy. This is the middle. Anything that hits the middle of the knee, of the shin, breaks the shin. Ganon kasimple yun. So if you look at the sequence, both the Weidman and the Anderson Silva sequence,
Exact
the
spot.
kick, the kick happened, yung nag-turn lang outside, okay, it's called checking the kick. So nag-leg check si counter fighter, he angled his leg out, yung gitna nung shin nung sumipa, tumama doon. Pero ang nabali, yung lower part.
Yung kabila.
Okay, that's another mysterious part of the human body. So, tumama yung gitna. So, gitna sa gitna, pero ang nabali yung ibaba. So, if you watch, there's gonna be a lot of slow-mo videos. Ako, I'm not gonna put a slow-mo video
I'm
here
not
kasi hindi
gonna
ko
watch
kaya.
You're just talking
So
about
graphic.
doing that.
Ayoko na siyang panoorin kasi
Oh my God.
kasi it's gonna make me stop throwing leg kicks. Parang iniisip ko rin, parang dati ang sipag ko mag-leg kick, tapos puta, pwede pala mangyari sa akin yun. Walang yaya.
But
Don't
nag-tweet si Derek
forget
Lewis.
your shin guard.
Yeah, Derek
now.
Lewis tweeted na, I ain't throwing no leg kicks ever.
Ain't throwing no
So,
leg kicks now.
So, teka lang. Di ko alam kasi kung bali. Pero kasi malalayo ako sa mic eh. So, again, this is your leg. So, this is the knee, shin, paa. So, itong gitna. Yan. Anything that magkakaroon ng contact dito sa gitna, mababali itong ibaba. Mababali yung ibaba. Okay, so again, if there are doctors, there are sports specialists, please comment. Put it in the comment section if I mess up the explanation ng konti. Pero ako, years of fighting and training, that's how I understand it. That's why whenever I throw kicks, I make sure that I am at a proper distance. I'm at a proper distance wherein I know that it's gonna be the bottom half of my leg that's gonna create
Throw it
impact.
a bit higher.
And then you throw it a bit higher. Kasi you have to calculate and you also have to provide, para ka magbibigay ka ng allowance, you expect your opponent to step back. Any fighter who is on the receiving end of any kick, it's either they're gonna catch that leg or they're gonna step back. So you have to allot time for that. That's why the really good kickers out there. Locally, Fritz Biagtan, Denis Zamboanga, Drek Zamboanga, the Catalan brothers. When they do their low kicks, when you watch them fight, it's always at a distance. They never kick ng masyadong malapit kasi there's that chance that it's the middle of their shin that creates contact. Yun yung delikado. Dun nababali ang paa. Okay, so again, if you want to watch the replay and you want to compare, okay, look at the placement kung saan. Everyone kasi is looking at where the counter check is. You look at the base, you look at the point of impact. It's always in the middle. Another great coach, his Filipino, si Janex. His handle on Instagram is Yanex Parusa. Si Kat Zengano nagtatrain under him. There are a lot of UFC fighters that are si Little Heath. Sino ba yung si Little Heath MMA?
Jeremy
Stephens, yan. Striking coach si Jeremy Stephens. He's a Filipino.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, Jeremy Stephens is the who the fuck is that guy.
Exactly that guy.
So he's he has like an Instagram clip way before pa explaining that as well.
Uriah Hall, right? So he obviously, he did something right. He didn't just get lucky, right?
Yeah.
But is it kind of an Aljamain Sterling win, or as martial artists you say no? He's
kasi everyone knows how to do a check kick. Everyone who's striking knows how to check a kick. Weidman's leg was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Uriah's leg was at the right place at the right time. And Uriah Hall is a high level striker, eh. So you can't say na it's luck. Kasi he's been knocking out people with spinning heel kicks nga, eh. So he knows how to kick.
It was very calculated.
It's very calculated, yeah.
Okay, so it's
then you don't expect it to break that bad.
Yeah. So
And
unfortunate.
It is. It's really unfortunate. But like as a fighter of that level, if you're Uriah Hall, you're climbing your way up. You're on this new momentum or a new resurgence. You've got this new energy behind you. So you're trying to. How do you feel that you win the fight, but like that? Do you still say, well, you know what? End of the day, I'll take it, and I'll take it. That's. I mean, like I don't feel bad.
I'll take the Uriah Hall win over the Aljamain Sterling win.
Any day.
Yes.
But wait, I'm champion.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, there's no, as martial arts, you don't feel that. It's just like, look, at the end of the day, what goes around comes around.
Yeah,
because you have these brutal wins.
Kasi he did the right thing,
everything
eh. He did the right thing. If you watch the replay again, tignan niyo yung mukha ni Uriah Hall. From derecho, tumingin siya ng, may slight diagonal, may pababang
Right,
diagonal. Nakita niya. Peripherally, nakita niya sa nanggagaling yung sipa. Kasi the way Chris Weidman would throw leg kicks is, Chris Weidman is malapad siyang tao, eh. The thing with thick people and they don't know how to cut kicks pa. They don't know how to cut the angles and kicks. So for a guy like him, and the way I saw that he would do his low kicks, it's always walloping. It would always create parang a circular walloping motion. So if you're a high level kickboxer or Muay Thai fighter, yung walloping motion na yun, makikita mo kagad yun. Uriah Hall knew where the kick was coming.
But fair to say that he's just as surprised as all of us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's none of this. Hindi, tinimpla ko lang talaga.
parang feeling ko, parang hindi naman siya yung parang ghost fighter na parating yung sipa, bibigyan ko to ng 80% na sangga.
Automatic na yun.
It was an action reaction thing. Ganun siya. The guy was throwing a kick, let me angle out my knee so that I get to check the kick.
Grabe
nga lang nangyari na
small distancing. Like additionally, yung dadagdag ko lang kay Coach Franco, si Chris kasi hindi nga siya umaanggulo sa labas. Well, there's something that we call stepping outside of the frame. So you step outside of the other guy's stance, so you have a better angle. Si Chris, since malaki siyang tao, and he's used to bullying people with his fighting style, eh. Hindi niya ginagawa yun. He stands right in front of the other guy and just wallops his strikes.
Tama. Kasi si Chris Weidman, he knows that he's a wide version and he's a heavier version of. He's a big 185
he's
guy.
A wide man.
Oh, he's a wide man.
It's also kasi sets up his takedowns, eh.
Yeah, so his style of fighting is overwhelming you. So he would overwhelm you. he would bully you around kasi he
It's his
knows na
wrestling din kasi.
it's his wrestling talaga. He knows na he can overpower anybody in 185 pounds. So, yun yung style niya. He'll stay in front of you. So, he never really knew how to cut the angles. Yun, yung sinabi ni Carl, yung getting out of the frame. So, when you talk about getting out of the frame, it's just creating a square with your opponent's body and then you angle out. Like, yung ginawa niya, perfect example, Masvidal versus Askren. From a squared stance, initial, he went to the side.
Half circle.
That very small angle. The moment na tumakbo siya, alam niya kagad that specific knee was going to land. That's it.
And
Ganun yun.
exactly. You asked me. Yeah.
Diba?
Okay,
So,
question.
go.
Yeah.
Weidman. Weidman. Career over or?
I think so.
I think so. He's 36.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be one last
turning
run.
37 right
Okay.
now.
37 na siya. Wow.
And before you answer, well, you already answered, but it's okay. No, before you finish your answers with that, so career over ? And 2, because obviously I'm basing it from the Anderson fight. Was that the career changer for Anderson, or was it the knockout, the fight before? Which do you think would have been the career ender?
Sige, si JC muna. Si JC nag-bring up yan sa amin kanina.
Actually.
Well, I think it is a career-ending injury, mainly because Chris Weidman's turning 37 this year. The injury would take at least a couple of years to heal completely. And then we saw how Anderson Silva's career went after his leg broke.
It was never the same.
Yeah, he was never the same. You'd be
you all
scared to
attributed
throw
to that.
kicks after that.
Fucks you up mentally.
Yeah.
Weidman, the fighter, would always want to
Yeah.
go out with a win, or he want to put a really good positive stamp to cap off his career. I think he can probably still do that. Pero for him to go back 100%, medyo hindi na. Kasi the thing about breakage ng shin or any leg injury, it takes, I'll just echo what JC said, it takes a lot of time to heal.
Yeah.
It really depends on your ability to heal. So you have to go surgery and then healing part, more than a year yon plus rehab. So he'll probably be 37, 38 until he can
39 probably when he gets back.
39. So it's a matter of, I mean, if he has a really good relationship with the UFC, they'll just give him like 2 to 3 like yung journeyman fights so that he can retire with a win. Ganon.
Yeah. No, that's
Diba? Kasi it's gonna be hard to say na you're gonna make a run for the title kasi at 185, who do you have to go through? Diba? Before, diba, you have to go through.
It was already far-fetched. Without this fight today, it was already like, really, it's a long climb, and Izzy is
on
a different level, diba?
On this fight, I think he was trying. I think he mentioned prior that this was his one last run for a title. This injury happened, so it's probably not gonna happen anymore.
Diba? Kasi
you don't think he can appeal this with Sugar State? I mean, is this appealable?
I think Sugar State would evaluate the leg first. Like we will go. Let's see. Is the leg broken? I think the leg's not broken. We're gonna reevaluate the decision of that fight. 185. Even if you recover, you have to go. You have to get past Paulo Costa.
Like, I don't see him getting past Jacare either.
Jacare rin, di ba? Jacare is there. It's gonna be an uphill climb, pero he can probably heal, get 2 to 3 fights, get paid, and then call it a day. Kasi wala eh. Sadly. And he hasn't really improved that much.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. I haven't really seen. I haven't really seen any amount of improvement since he won the title and then lost the title. So it's unfortunate. Sayang lang.
Siya pa naman yung poster boy ni Ray Longo, coach.
We don't know how Weidman as a fighter is, and ako naman I made a previous statement before, like we did the previous episode, and then I said na the evolution of Chris Weidman can also be attributed to the ability of Ray Longo to develop fighters. Kasi pwedeng nag-plateau siya kay Ray Longo eh, 'di ba? And then Ray Longo rin naman hindi rin naman nag-evolve as or nag-improve as a coach eh. So I mean it's fighters get better, coaches have to get better as well. Hindi pwedeng your fighters getting better and then you're stagnating or
That's a
you're
good point.
plateauing as a coach.
Especially since
Hindi
we'll
pwede yun
be talking
And-
about si Trevor Whitman. Parang si
Grabe,
Usman
Trevor
leaving
Whitman.
Henry Hoof for Trevor
Yeah.
Whitman.
Yeah.
Diba? So, a speedy recovery to Chris Weidman. Please get better and hope
just,
you...
Additionally, ang klase ni Anderson Silva, no?
Yeah.
Oo.
Sobra.
Message siya eh.
Sobra.
Just to add lang na konti pala about Chris Weidman, he ever since that loss with Luke Rockhold in 2015,
Oh, it's never the same.
Oo nga pala.
he was never the same. He's only
Yeah.
won twice after that. And that was it.
And the other losses have been brutal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Mostly
Yeah.
KOs.
KOs talaga, KOs.
Bad ones.
Nag-light
like
heavyweight
highlight
pa
reel.
si Chris,
Yeah.
di ba?
Did
Diba?
you hear about when DC asked him about? I think it was DC. Very recent, the build up to this fight. Someone asked him this game of who you'd be quarantined with, who you can ghost, and who you would fight. Did you?
Hindi ko alam.
Sabi.
And then they give you 3 names, and then you have to insert those names into And was it DC who said it? But anyway, the punchline here is basically okay. Who he would ghost, who he would fight, be quarantined with, Anderson Silva.
And
Who he would fight was the other one who was given, but both of them said ghost Luke Rockhold.
Luke
So, may bagong na naman beef.
nobody likes Luke
Nobody
Rockhold
likes
talaga. Nobody likes Luke Rockhold.
Yeah,
As in,
that's yeah. What? Wait, why? What's his thing? What's his?
Luke Rockhold kasi from what we know and
It's
from
kinda
like
cringy, no?
yeah, iba yung angas niya. Iba yung
Pogi kasi siya eh.
Asperger's. Asperger's or something.
parang
Could be.
tsaka iba yung hangin daw niya eh. Pero
May
yung
hangin
may hangin daw talaga si Luke Rockhold. As in he knows na he would like really tell you na okay, I'm better than you. I look better than you, 'di ba? I make more money. Basta ganun siya. May ganun siya. May siya mag-trash talk talaga. Even off the cage daw, malakas daw siya mag-trash talk. So, I mean yan tanong ni Tito James yan. So, if you know any
From what
Luke
we know.
Rockhold chismis, okay? Put it in the comment
It's a fresh
section.
beef. There's got to be a fresh beef there because it was like the way they parang inside joke talaga. Like
Parang
may
feeling
bagong
ko-
fresh beef.
Actually, so, Tito Dana, Uncle Dana, baka naman sabi ni James Deakin, baka pwede nyo naman gawin gawin natin yung farewell tour ni kasama sa farewell tour ni Chris Weidman, ilaban siya kay Luke Rockhold. 185 naman di ba? 185 naman sila pareho
185,
di ba? Pareho rin naman silang glass jaw. So pareho. So there's a chance na di ba? Just imagine, di ba? They trash talk each other tapos nag-double knockout silang dalawa sa isa't isa.
Oh my god.
Di ba? Di ba? Di ba pareho silang pareho ng glass chin
Special
yung dalawa
event,
yun.
Battle of the Glass Jaws.
Oo, di ba? Silang dalawa. Pwede yan. People actually watch that.
I'll never forget that cam. You know when they put that crowd cam on the fighters and stuff, and then
Yeah. Hindi ko alam ba't ginagawa yun eh.
Yung Luke, well, just to show. But sometimes they can hold it
Yeah.
awkwardly long.
Yeah.
And there's that one. Look at one from Luke Rockhold, and he doesn't know what to do with his hands after a while.
Yeah, it's
Then he
so
starts
awkward,
doing
right?
gang sign.
So
You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
like,
Oh, it's so awkward, man. You're just like, you're already, because he doesn't know what to do. He's like more.
I have a theory that Luke is really a nerd trapped in a jock's body.
He's a nerd trapped in the jock's body.
Hindi niya alam gagawin yung sarili niya. Pero
Yes.
pogi siya, di ba? Pogi lang.
Oo
siya.
nga eh. Dapat mag-artista na lang yan. Feeling ko,
confident
feeling ko talaga mag-artista na lang yan.
Dapat
O kaya
mag-artista siya.
yung susunod na Expendables kasama na si Luke
Actually,
Rockhold.
no, not artista because I think model.
Model,
Model.
He did
Because
that,
I don't
di ba?
think he can carry it like he's cringy. He's not really cringy talaga.
He's cringy.
He's really. I mean, like, Cejudo's cringe is manufactured cringe.
Yeah, that's another character. Yeah, that's another character.
Luke is not manufactured. That's organic.
That's a natural cringe.
Natural, homegrown cringe.
Diba?
And he's not aware. He's not aware.
He's not aware. That is so true.
Like Cejudo, you know that he's sometimes laughing. Sure, no, not Cejudo. Sometimes I'm not sure. So who knows? Sugar Sean knows.
Sugar Sean
know
knows, yeah.
You know that sometimes you can almost see the break in his smile. Like, I don't know if they're going to buy this.
Yeah.
I'm 13-0, baby.
13.
Confidence.
Pero speaking of being so natural, Valentina Shevchenko defends her title once again.
Yeah. My God.
I just don't see anybody. We've been talking like kaming tatlo on our own. Ako, sinasabi ko ever since. I was like, I don't see anybody beating Valentina Shevchenko probably in her division, a lighter weight division. I just think that the UFC will come to a point wherein they just have to rematch Valentina versus Amanda Nunes. It will, I mean, they're gonna, they all thought Jessica Andrade would provide the strength kasi Jessica Andrade went up a weight class. So she's strong. She's naturally strong. Then here comes Shevchenko, who everyone thought would outstrike Jessica Andrade, would not engage in a grappling match with her, started taking her down at will.
I don't think Jessica was actually prepared for that.
Jessica was not in no way, shape, or form in any level to Valentina's level that night. Okay, so it's inevitable.
Where do you think Amanda's weak?
Every time that I watch Amanda fight, more or less, if I was coaching a fighter against Amanda, I would introduce more kicks. Amanda's not good with kicks. She's not good with kickers. Kasi if you watch the previous fights with Shevchenko, that was more of Shevchenko's thing. Kasi nobody can compete with the hands of Amanda Nunes kasi they're longer and they're stronger. Iba yung punching power ni Amanda Nunes. Now, she immediately engages into a wrestling or a grappling match whenever her opponent starts kicking her. Like if you look at her previous fight, yung matangkad din na, I forgot, si Megan something?
Megan Anderson.
Megan Anderson. So when Megan Anderson... Yeah. So when she opened up with a punching flurry, and then halfway through she started kicking, dun nag-iba yung complexion ni Amanda Nunes, then went for a takedown.
Yeah.
Kasi kicks will allow you, when it comes to a fighter like Amanda Nunes, is legs are longer than fists or legs are longer than arms. So it gives you more range. It frustrates Amanda Nunes that she can't touch you. Na she has to go through your legs before ano. So instead of engaging na, hindi rin naman kicker si Amanda Nunes eh. She's not a known kicker. So ang gagawin niya ngayon, she's gonna bridge that gap, take you down. Diba? And then ako rin naman kasi, okay, Valentina's good on the ground. It's gonna be something that's gonna provide entertainment, but at the same time, a real good challenge for Amanda Nunes. Kasi the problem with Cyborg naman kasi, when they fought, Cyborg wanted to knock her out.
Yes.
The problem was
pride.
Oh, it was an ego fight. It was an ego fight. So they wanted to knock each other out. But you just imagine if Chris Cyborg went for a shot or went for a single leg or a double leg takedown and took Amanda Nunes to the ground, that would have been a different fight. It just so happened that during that time, the build-up, the hype, diba, both fighters wanted to prove something.
Yeah.
So, yun yung ano nila, na especially women fighters are very, very competitive. Diba? So, gusto nila, wala. Mas maganda talaga yung, mas malakas pala sumuntok si Amanda Nunes.
Malakas talaga. Tsaka mas sharp. Grabe yung...
Sharp. Iba siya. She's on a different level.
Sure.
Are we still all in agreement that Valentina Shevchenko is a spy?
A Russian spy. Diba? He could be an inside operative.
Oo Champion, magaling sumayaw, magaling bumaril. Meron pang isang interview, di ba? Sabi niya, no, I am not a spy. Exactly what a spy would say.
Oh. Buti nga ngayon, but
you know what? She's another one that could be a model if she.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If she,
She
like,
wanted to.
The proportions of her face and if somebody put some makeup and did some, oh my God, that woman would be a cover girl.
Yeah.
Yep. Marami medyo na ano na ata eh. Parang feeling ko.
May nakita na tayong ganyan, di ba?
Oo. Hinihintay na nga lang. Ewan ko, pag yan naggawa ng OnlyFans account, feeling ko magwawala mga tao. Di ba? Everyone's gonna go crazy over that. Medyo nagiging crowd darling na si Shevchenko. It was a slow climb. It was a slow
niya pa rin talaga.
Pero
and
at
she's
least
smart.
Yeah.
Very
She's
smart.
she speaks like how many languages?
Four
These years?
languages. Spanish,
Four languages.
Russian. Meron pang dialect ng Peruvian eh.
Grabe siya. Super.
She looks like she dances as well.
Oh,
She's
because of
parang
that
that
logistic,
Russian dance, the traditional Russian dance.
Yeah,
Galing,
yeah.
galing niya dun. Galing niya dun.
If
And
you
then,
watch the post-fight interview of Valentina Shevchenko, grabe. She was so calm and she did not look like a Russian.
wala.
Usually Russians are like intense people.
Oo.
Siya wala.
Valentina was so
Yung type sa
calm during
Latin
the whole
America.
interview.
Super
Yun eh.
composed, super composed.
Oo.
Diba? And
You
then,
know what's really kind of cool?
sino?
Like while she's climbing, like we're talking about, she has no more challenges anymore. She actually has this, it's nice that her and her sister fight,
Yeah.
and now she's now cornering her sister.
Yeah.
She mentioned in her thing. So the next couple of weeks or whatever, she's gonna take a day off, and then she's now invested as a coach or corner for her. So it's not gonna. I don't think she's gonna get that bored.
Winning in spectacular fashion, dominating, crucifix from the side mount, referee stops the contest due to elbows. And then, kung ano yung tinagal nung laban na yun, ganito mo yung kinabilis nung susunod na laban. Okay, Zhang Wei versus Rose Namajunas for the strawweight title. Diyos ko Lord, that was so beautiful. Tug Rose is back.
I didn't see that coming.
What
I thought
Not that fast.
I urge everyone to watch the highlight kick again and see how that was not an easy kick. So again, we're gonna go back to this. Here comes opponent. Here comes body. Most kicks go up, down, go up, wallop, straight. Yung Ken Rose Namajunas, nakatayo siya. It's from the inside.
Yes.
Cut that angle. She cut that angle
Grabe,
really, really well. As in,
galing.
papasok, diagonal cut upward, boom, tapos sampal. Sabi ko, grabe yun ah.
shows her taekwondo background.
Oo, sabi ko, grabe yun.
Tinimingan lang talaga niya yung rhythm ni Weili, no?
It clearly shows how good her fight IQ is. She's been known to be a really good competitor. She's a really good fighter. If she's in the proper headspace, she's a very, very dangerous fighter.
She's so emotional, no?
Yeah.
Such an emotional
When
someone who looks like she's got no emotion.
Yes.
Like she looks it, no? She looks devoid of, no? But yeah, she's extremely emotional.
Diba? And
cries every time afterwards.
Yeah.
Grabe. Yung moment niya na yun. Yeah. She's had a very traumatic childhood. And then
what's his backstory ba?
She
schizophrenia
was
father.
abused. Yeah.
Yeah, but is that physically, sexually, family or strangers or
uncle ata. Naalala ko to kasi nasa Ultimate Fighter siya, di ba, coach?
Basta parang family member, emotionally and then sexually abused. Then I don't know if she went on the foster care system, pero sobrang rough childhood siya. And then then discovered martial arts, stayed in the gym, lived in the gym, found her purpose. Then then Pat Barry, here comes Tito Pat Barry.
Waiting for Rose to turn 18.
Oh, Tito moves talaga. Yan yung mga backstory na yan. Yan ang Tito moves. Sana 16 years old. 16 pa lang niligawan niya na yan.
Talaga ni Pat Barry yan.
Di ba, Pat Barry? Here comes. Chicks to. It's magaling na fighter. Let me be your coach. Mayami yung konti. Let me be your husband. I'm like, at least, I mean, it's good for them. Well, probably one of those success stories. But I'm like, teka, parang kasi Pat Barry's like a heavyweight fighter noon pa. Noon pa. Then I go like when Rose Namajunas like flashback, Rose Namajunas used to have really long hair.
Yes.
Tsaka siya, she parang pang model yung itsura niya noon. Kasi yung ganda niya. And here, sabi ko, Pat Barry ba yun? I go like, Pat Barry? Tanda na ni Pat Barry.
Tanda na siya.
Then sakto, here comes Kyle. Huy, alam niyo ba? 16 years old pa si Namajunas, nililigawan ni Pat.
Minamataw niya talaga. This woman, she shall be mine.
Di ba? We will live off the grid and then buy cryptocurrency. Pero I mean, for me naman kasi, ever since the only person that could beat Rose was Thug Rose. Because if she's not in the proper headspace, she's
Yes,
not
yes.
gonna perform well. It took it
Yeah.
so a huge chunk of the development of Rose was being part of Trevor Whitman's camp.
Mhm.
She
And
got
one
the
of the
attention that she
unheralded
needs.
coaches.
Oh,
Galing.
then she got the training environment that she needs. Because one thing that she started off training in a very isolated gym before. It was just her training partners. Then she became a champion. Everybody wanted to train with her. Everybody wanted to see her train. Kind of messed up with her mental fortitude and the way that she focuses for fights. Now when it came to now she lost. Everyone thought na she would call it quits, pero she went to Denver. Nakita niya na Trevor Whitman's gym kasi it's very exclusive. As in, he will tell people to fuck off the gym. As in, ganun siya. And
Maliit
then,
yung clientele na, ano.
maliit lang
Oh,
talaga.
for sure.
So, ang mga estudyante lang ni Trevor Whitman is Kamaru, Rose, Gaethje. That's it.
Justin,
Yeah,
yes.
konti lang sila.
He doesn't want to build a team. He wants to be a specialist in coaching. That's why and then he built his gym up in the mountains of Denver. Then that's where he started his company as well. It works for him. It works. The setup worked for him. It benefited Rose, and that was a textbook
Yeah.
45 kick to the face.
Grabe, no?
Pero the timing and the execution was just really amazing. It goes to show na if you watch the earlier sequences, parang feeling ko nga sinadya niya pang magpasuntok kay Zhang Weili para
Oo.
makuha niya yung
Para makuha.
distance. Kasi
Grabe.
normally, if you watch old Rose Namajunas fights, he would open with a push kick, he would open with the front kick, jab straight hook, or a jab straight hook, finish with the front kick. For this one, bumatol na siya ng jab nung sumuntok si Zhang Weili.
Andun na siya eh.
Ba't ano nangyari doon? Sabi ko, ba't siya
Andun na siya.
nagpasuntok? Afterwards, bigla sumip. Sabi ko, sinadya
Yun na
niya
yun.
kaya yun? There's a part
Kaya
of me
siya-
lang. There's a part of me that thinks, did she actually want Zhang Weili to come forward so that she can gauge her distance and then throw that kick?
And then
I was
throw
like,
that kick,
wow.
yeah.
Ang bilis eh.
Ang ano,
Kawawa
diba,
nga lang
ang
si Zhang
genius,
Weili.
like, planning engaged to do that. Di ko
He was
mag-gets.
shocked din eh.
She was
Honestly,
shocked. As
parang
in,
si Zhang Weili, like, I didn't think Rose would do that at all. Kasi ang tagal niya nang hindi lumalaban.
Yeah.
and you wouldn't think not in our wildest dreams did we ever think that Zhang Weili would get knocked out. Kasi nung
Knocked
nagsuntukan
out.
sila ni Yuana, mas
Wala
marami
na.
siyang
Tigas,
tinanggap.
diba? Ang taas na
Tigas eh.
conditioning.
Yeah.
Oo eh.
I think it's we don't know what happened. Ako lang this is me as an analyst, as a fighter, and as a coach. Yung mga ganong kabilis na knockout, it's fight camp. Ano yan? She probably didn't have enough time to build her cardio. Her strength and conditioning is not at that level. We don't know how long was she able to adjust for the jet lag. Malaking factor si jet lag
Malaking
when it
factor.
comes to fight week. That's why if you notice a lot of fighters, they immediately go to the venue probably 3 to 4 weeks
Oo.
prior to the event. Kasi bukod sa media tour, they have to acclimate. They have to get
Oo nga.
rid of the
Dami pa namang medyo obligations ng champion.
So yun. I think it took its toll on her body. Probably didn't adjust well.
Did you guys think she was KO'd by the time she hit the ground, si Weili? Were those additional
felt-
necessary or super necessary?
Hirap sabihin.
Okay,
ano eh.
While you're thinking, because obviously your answer is going to be more technical and deeper and more better than mine. From a fan, just immediately reacting, without actual MMA knowledge, I felt slightly bitten.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I felt slightly like I think he was
Like,
early.
parang, yun na?
Yeah.
Yun na?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, maybe, but that maybe it's just the fan in me that's like, wait, I'm not believing it's over as well, but I kind of felt it was early. Again,
Because-
I'm not trying to pass it off as,
Yeah.
technically.
But is it
It's just
because
a
you've
feeling I got.
seen Weili versus Joanna and Thug
Yeah.
Rose versus Joanna and those were wars?
Well, it could also be the fan in me. Like, I still don't think Masvidal was KO'd today. I haven't accepted it yet. So we'll talk about
There's a
that
part
later,
of you
but
that get it.
there's a huge part of me that's still in denial, but maybe that's it.
Mm.
Because I was just like, you normally kasi I just jump in and go, okay, stop. That's a human part of me going, that she's had enough. I didn't see that yet. I was probably this close to it, but it's a championship fight. So if you're asking on a feeling, I felt it was
You
a
felt
little
kind of
early. A little early.
Which is pretty
Even
legit,
though I've seen
actually.
the replay and okay. That's
Oh,
my
no,
two
sorry.
cents.
When you saw the replay, did you change your mind slightly? Di pa rin.
Yeah, well, by then you're already rehearing experts tell you, so it's different now. I can't even. Maybe I'm borrowing already the information and stuff, but I'm just flashing back to how I felt exactly at the time, because that was my feeling. Nothing was influenced yet, and I was just like,
Yun yung gut reaction.
so I wasn't surprised when she went like that. Then of course when the analysts start saying it, then they start replaying it, and you're like, okay. More people seem to say that, so I'll side with them. I'll go with popular opinion.
I was super surprised. I was super surprised about the kick. I never knew that Zhang Weili would go down that way. However, when I saw that her legs went back, yung nag-jelly leg siya na pabagsak.
Jelly legs. So.
Yun yung mga knockouts na point of no return eh.
Nag-bounce yung
Paatras siya
head
eh. Oh, paatras siya eh. The moment na you get hit and you get knocked out, na jelly legs tawag namin dun eh. Pag nag-jelly legs ka,
stanky
kasi
legs.
nag-bend yung knee mo,
Oo.
wala na. Ako as a referee, I would call that. I would.
I was going to say nga, yung referee was Keith Peterson, and of course somewhere
Tinignan niya pa nga eh. Nag-double check nga siya eh. Out na ba talaga to?
But while we're on that topic, who do you think is the most like that really lets it go too long?
Herb Dean's usually.
Herb Dean. That's
Herb Dean has that reputation. Herb Dean has that reputation.
Yeah, Herb Dean.
Sam and I, we refer to him as Herb. I haven't seen enough yet. Dean.
The Herb hasn't kicked in yet.
Pero ano siya, it's super subjective din talaga. Because there are people for people who will watch or hear this for the first time, there are instances where you get hit, you get knocked out cold. And then there are instances wherein you get knocked out, yung unang suntok, bang! Tulog. Sunod na suntok, bang! Gising ka. May mga ganun eh. Pero those are the things when it really depends on the reaction of the fighter. There are so many things. Every individual has their own unique way of, I mean, as a referee, para sobrang dali sa akin. Tulog, okay, pigil ko na. Pero dun din kasi, there are times wherein first punch, kitang-kita ko. Nakatayo bang! Nakita ko pumikit. Tapos, I'll step in, and then nag-uppercut, bang! Boom! Tulog, gising! Sabi ko, okay, tuloy.
The second one woke him up.
Man, more often than not, that happens. Kasi ako, I experienced that. Unang suntok sa bang, puta, para sabi ko, tulog ba ako? Biglang nasuntok ako isa pa, sabi ko, gising pa pala ako, okay. Medyo dazed, pero gising. So, I mean, so more often than not, the more experienced referees, they're gonna check how your legs buckled, and then if your eyes are rolling up or are you just really out, ganun siya. Yung iba kasi talaga, for Zhang Weili, the moment I saw that her legs gave out, yung nag-jelly leg siya, bagsak patalikod, wala. Sabi ko, wala na yun. Out na yun.
Grabe, no? Siyempre, galit kasi si Weili na tipong, no, too early. Like,
if you watch the succeeding sequence nga, suggest everyone to watch the succeeding sequence. Nakita mo, nagre-reklamo siya, pero parang...
Nagre-reklamo siya.
Ano,
pero
habang drunk walking siya eh. Walking drunk siya eh. So, it's so unfortunate. I really hope na... I think they're gonna run it back.
Hopefully.
Kasi normally ganyan
after
eh.
ganyan.
And then we're gonna go to...
If you're Zhang, you can really get the rematch straight away if you want. Like Conor got his rematch. Dustin.
Right away.
Right away.
Conor yan
without
eh.
a donation pa.
Conor McGregor. Si Conor, he needs the second down payment for his yacht. So he needs the immediate rematch. So we're gonna go to the main event of the evening: Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal for the welterweight championship of the world. Late ko na rin nalaman, napansin na nandun na Francis Ngannou was on Kamaru Usman's corner.
Nice.
And by the way, you heard it
African
first here. You heard it first here in Combat Sports Weekly before everyone else started posting about this. I posted it on my social media. We called them the Three Kings. Kasi napansin namin, tatlo Usman, Adesanya, Ngannou, tatlong African. So we called them the Three Kings. Then they started calling themselves the Three Kings. Right hand, TKO victory.
Level.
Violent, yeah.
Violent.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was violent. It was beautiful. It
It
was
was
perfect.
spectacular.
The slow-mo of that punch with all
level.
that yung sweat shower,
Right?
di ba?
Oh,
Yung sweat shower na
grabe.
lumabas sa ano, that was
Oo.
amazing. That was
Great
amazing.
photos.
Even from the fans' cell phone shots, did you see those?
Yeah,
those-
yeah.
Yeah.
Ang
Even
ganda.
with those medyo blurry ones, how impactful it was.
Ang ganda. Ang ganda.
That a piece of my soul left. My
Ah,
body.
I'm sure that
diba?
that
Street
felt pretty
Jesus.
satisfying, right?
Street Jesus went
As a
to
fan.
took an express
Oh,
ticket
man.
towards heaven muna for me.
He's now
Through
with
the
the
Nigerian
Pepsi
Express.
Ghost Club.
When people watch it again, okay, try your best to find longer clips. Kasi during the fight, okay, Kamaru Usman was setting it up with his jabs. So he was setting it up with his jabs. He was hitting the body in the middle part of the first round.
Grabe na yung jabs niya, no?
Maganda yung jabs
Grabe,
niya.
ang tatalas.
Super improvement. And then he was hitting the body. And then towards the last part of the first round, he started hitting him with the straights to the face. He actually hit him once or twice. Kasi
Yeah.
nakita nyo, nagtatrash talk si Jorge after.
Diba?
Those were the
Smiling
initial.
pa.
Oh, he was actually those were the gauging shots. Tawag doon gauging shots. So that's where you know na okay, I'm gonna jab, step forward, throw the straight. Let's see if it lands. And then every time that he would throw it, Jorge wasn't stepping to the side. He was just stepping backward. So if you watch the knockout punch, it was everyone said it was a what do you call this? It was a hook and then a straight. If you watch it again, it was a fake hook that parried. It was parried or he grabbed, hinawakan niya yung gloves. Okay?
He did.
It could be subjective, pero sa akin, sinadya niya yun. It was a fake hook grabbing the glove para bumaba yung kamay. Jorge's attention would be on that glove. Then here comes the right. Bang!
Ganda ng strategy,
So,
no?
ang ganda ng
matindi.
execution. So, we're gonna go back to what Carl said kanina. He was within the frame. He didn't cut the angle. He didn't step to the side. So, since he was still in the frame, pasok na pasok yung right hand doon. Okay? So, I mean, grabe yun for Kamaru
tindi
Usman.
nung commitment na he changed stances for a
Yeah.
minute nung nag-follow through na. Like,
Yeah,
what
the follow through
hell?
was there was a quick na change in stance prior to that shot. So, I mean, still good for Masvidal kasi he took like 2 to 3 shots in the face pero hindi siya bumagsak. Where Gilbert Burns took a
Oh
jab
my
and
God.
went down, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So, at least Masvidal is still there. Pero
Gilbert Burns na
not to a
mapaupo
point
talaga.
wherein wala eh. He said that he was prepared for the wrestling pero Kamaru took him down at will.
Wala.
Took him down with the same
level.
exact takedown that he got taken down during the first fight. So it was an underhook body hug, belly to belly slam. Or
Yeah.
tama, belly hindi nga nag-foot trip si Kamaru Usman eh. Masvidal didn't stay too much inside the guard, which was good. Kasi initially, syempre pagod siya during the first fight. He stayed in close guard. Afterwards, he stayed in close guard, threw some elbows from the ground, and then nag-wall walk na siya. Nung nakita niya hindi bumabagsak si Kamaru, nag-wall walk na siya.
Yeah.
So when you go wall walk, you scoot your butt all the way to the cage, walls of the cage, then you
Stand up.
shrug your shoulders up the wall. So you use the wall as a lever, then you got up. Muntik pang makuha ni Kamaru yung likod niya.
Actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he didn't do a double wrist control on one hand, Kamaru Usman would have gotten his back. So I think that sequence also took a lot on Jorge Masvidal kasi by the second round, medyo nawala yung step niya eh. And at the same time, si Kamaru din naman, if you notice, first half of the second round, medyo he was loading on his shots.
He was.
Diba? He was kind of loading on his shots na medyo
Ano
off
yung
balance
galit?
siya.
Parang galit eh, no?
When you load on your shots kasi, the reason why it didn't hit because he wasn't setting it up. The
Oh.
reason why
Telegraphing it.
he was telegraphing it. The reason why pumasok yung knockout punch na yun kasi sinetap niya.
Sinetap niya.
Yeah.
Sinetap niya. So, I mean, it's really, really, it shows you the skill level of Kamaru Usman. It also shows how dominating he is. Na it's gonna be interesting how Colby Covington is going to adjust to that. Kasi so far, Colby Covington is the only guy who was able to last Kamaru Usman.
Oh, pretty long. Actually, props to Colby, di ba? Very good ang ano niya, defense niya.
Oh, so in that, so it's gonna Colby
Who
Covington.
did you give? No. Sorry. Before we get Covington, who did you give round 1 to in the Masvidal 2 fight with
Usman?
Usman?
Ako, Usman ako dun. Usman first round. Kasi
You-
he was
Here?
hitting it with the jabs. He was pressing
Some of
the
the
action.
elbows are pretty good though from
Yeah.
Masvidal.
Masvidal, yeah.
If you're just going to give as a fighter.
As a fighter, round 1 would be pretty close. Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Kasi I'm gonna give the elbow strikes to Masvidal. Pero Usman got the takedown. Tapos
Big kasi yung takedown talaga.
big yung takedown. And then bukod dun sa takedown kasi, there are people who will take you down pero the person on the bottom can immediately stand up. Diba? May mga taong ganun eh. So, negated kagad yun. Pero ito, he was able to take Masvidal down and then he was able to control him on the ground. Then you get the elbows from the bottom and then Masvidal was able to wall walk. That was medyo difficult for him to do kasi nobody really does that to Kamaru Usman.
Exactly.
So on the grappling and takedown.
Super newbie question. When you say about, and I've always wondered about this, not just this fight, many fights. When you say that when they get taken down and they get back up again, it's not counted as a takedown, though.
Oh, pero if
How
you're
long
gonna
is
go,
that gap?
Okay, that's a good
I'm
question.
gonna give it 2 seconds.
Is
2 seconds.
that arbitrary? Is that a
No,
or it's a
it's from
rule
jiu-jitsu
now, or is that-
competitions. Din, diba,
So
Coach?
from
so
if
there's
we're
something.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So for jiu-jitsu rules or jiu-jitsu competitions, you take a person down, you have to keep them down there for at least 2 to 3 seconds.
Nagbibilang yung referee
So
dyan.
nagbibilang yung referee.
Okay.
So if the butt is down, they score
Sige.
points. Now, if the guy gets taken down and the person who got taken down was able to stand back up right immediately, walang points yun. Walang points.
points.
Parang advantage lang. Parang half a point lang makukuha nung nag-attempt.
Kung walang actual point sa dulo, you just award an advantage.
So when you translate that to MMA, if the person gets taken down and then the person who got taken down was able to create a scramble situation. Tawag doon scramble situation, yung he started spazzing, starts pushing, and then gets back up on his feet. Ano yun? Kumbaga parang negated yung takedown mo. So for this one, Kamaru Usman was able to take Masvidal down. He was able to keep him down. So I would give him points for that. I would also give Masvidal points for elbows or strikes in the bottom kasi nobody really does that. So maganda rin yung marami siyang binato and it connected. And those were legal blows. So good on him. They negated each other na. I'm gonna give more emphasis dun sa Masvidal's ability to get out of Kamaru Usman's control.
Oo, hirap yan eh.
Kasi mahirap yan eh. Nobody can really do that to a Kamaru. Si Kamaru kasi when he gets hold of you, hindi ka na makakawala. Kasi he's gonna stay connected to you.
Laki.
So si Masvidal, it clearly shows na he has the skill sets and he is strong. Kasi he was able to withstand the pressure of Kamaru Usman. Tapos yung sequence na nasa cage sila, nakatayo siya, then he was able to get this
Big confidence.
Get away from him.
Yeah.
That takes a lot. As in, sobrang nakakapagod yun.
Was there, James, an overwhelming sense na, kasi super cool and super si Jorge, like when I was at the bar, talagang people were cheering for street issues.
Oh yeah.
Mostly for no other reason than they didn't like Kamaru. Was there
yeah. I couldn't put my finger on it. You know, I was like, I don't know what it is about Usman that just doesn't get my
Meron siyang ganun.
my
May ganun siya.
Yeah.
Marami nagsasabi he can't connect with fans daw eh. He can't connect with fans.
Yeah,
And
kasi
you know, like Dana said today that, you know, if you think he's a boring fighter, you're an idiot. And he's not the first person that said that.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree, but I'm like, you can't argue with a feeling, and that's a feeling that people have, and it's something that we've recently assigned enough value to, because before it was really about the numbers of fighters and all that, but we realize the world's changed, and this is as big a currency or as valuable a currency as maybe even one of the arts that you learn out there. It's part of what's going to get you through your career. So I don't know what it is, because it's not that he doesn't have a good story. He has a good story. He has a great story actually, but he doesn't connect, and that is just not tangible. It's
That's
inexplainable.
true.
You either feel it or you don't. Now, this fight changed a lot for me in terms of, well, it's decisive now. So okay, it really puts a stamp on it. It broke my heart because I really bought into the whole storyline of Street Jesus, and I do that partly. I am aware, of course. I'm like Sugar Sean in that way. I'm aware of what I'm doing, but I like to keep the sport alive. And this brings new eyeballs to the sport. So I joined that bandwagon willingly, knowing that, hey, look, the more eyeballs in the sport, the better the production, the better the fighters get paid. Everyone technically wins, unless.
It's true.
So I don't know what it is about Usman. I can't put my finger on it talaga.
I think I agree in terms of si Ben Askren, you remember, was also harping on it, di ba, Coach? Tipong si Ben Askren was saying
Marty from Nebraska.
he's a Marty from Nebraska kind of thing. Meaning parang, first of all, that dude is kind of fake. That second of all, he has no charisma. So he'll never succeed on the level na Masvidal daw.
Pero there's something about this because I bought into that too, right? The whole Marty from Nebraska and all this stuff. Did you watch the live weigh-in show? They have DC and all those guys talking, and it's okay. And that one, Kamaru came up from his weigh-in, and then he does an interview, and DC shared this piece of info that he said Rashad just made a comment about how this Marty from Nebraska thing, how you were able to finally grow into your real name. And it was very profound and deep because he said Marty from Nebraska actually represents him being told to fit in. He didn't get a choice pala in that. So may laman talaga yung ano ni Askren.
Yeah.
May laman yung hear it. Because as a Nigerian boy, he was brought in there and he wanted to go wrestling. And you picture, he's in Nebraska. He's probably, he's one of very few black people probably there. He's in the school and they're like, what's your name? Kamaru. Ha! I'm not going to say that. You're Marty.
Yeah.
And so he literally was assigned that name. And being fitting in and not having any power, of course, you just ride with it because that's what you're told. It's almost, if you want to be woke about it, a form of slavery because you were given a different name. But let's not get political. But, he's sharing that struggle, right? And then when he finally got into MMA and he finally got to his own terms, that's when he used the name Kamaru. Now, whether it's a fabricated story or not, it was beautiful. And the way he actually explained it was, and he did it, and he finished with this beautiful saying, so when I finally came up and now I stand here as a unified champion of the world, Kamaru Usman. And then one of the broadcaster goes, I swear, you can look this up. Right after he says that beautiful speech. So Marty, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, damn.
I will find out. I will send you the link after that. I was watching it alone. So I remember going, am I the only one that's offended? Look, I don't even like Kamaru, but I'm offended for him. I'm bastos mo. I was really. So then when my son arrived, I said, oh yeah, you gotta watch this. Tell me if I'm crazy or not. And he watched. He goes, no, that's really bad. That's really. And then some people are talking about it.
Disrespectful eh.
He was trying to make a joke, but it fell so flat. Like yung talagang
tone deaf.
He goes, so and Kamaru's, my God, it was almost like an Oscar speech. I mean, it was so perfectly delivered. He's not the most gifted in terms of tonality and all that, but his words were perfect. And it was a beautiful story arc, and he ended right there, and that's why I stand in front of you as a unified champion of the world. And bam! All right, so Marty,
itong mga media people na to, ako, pet peeve ko rin yan eh, pag mga event, para ako, bakit kayo ganyan magtanong?
Actually.
And no matter how good you are, they'll always ask you, what about this? What about that?
Yes.
What, are you not satisfied? No, it's always about what's next. What did you know? Even Tyson Fury one time called the media out really well when he said, would you stop it with the what's next? I haven't even tasted the champagne from tonight. You're asking me what's next. Let me enjoy my victory.
That's
and
true.
We all know what Tyson Fury went through with his depression and all that. He brought up a very valid point about let's allow people to live in the moment, naman. Come on, What are we doing this for at the end of the day if we can't even And Rogan covered this one of his podcasts about one of his guests was talking about you can't enjoy it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was GSP. No, it wasn't GSP, but someone with the same type of work ethic. It gets too much. You never allow yourself to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You're always looking. You're only as good as your last win. You're only as good as your last no. So it can rob you of the whole
experience.
The happiness. Yeah.
I think a lot of
a little deep there.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the reasons behind those questions is because they don't know what to ask din kasi. They don't know what to ask. They don't know what should they ask because they don't know anything. Diba? They don't have the time. Oh, it's an outsider looking in. Diba? So,
who's your favorite of the MMA foreign journalists?
I like MMA junkie.
Si JC marami yan.
Si JC marami.
That's a big guy, no? That's the big guy.
Yeah.
The one that always goes first.
Yep. Yeah.
MMA junkie guy. What's his name?
The chunky guy, he's from USA
Junkie.
Today. Yeah. He's from USA Today.
He's always usually the first guy to ask.
I mean, I could definitely, like the three of us can definitely speak for the industry and the community when we say na this is one of those really untapped markets. Kasi nga it's a very niche and it's a very close-knit community. As in, I've seen people or media people na parang talagang magi-interview and fighters would easily say, why do I have to talk to you? You're not one of us.
Yeah.
I've seen
Insular
fighters in
siya.
as in ginagawa siya. So, that's why there are only a few people in the, like, kahit dito sa Pilipinas iilan lang ang nakaka-access na kahit sabihin mong ABS, GMA or no, minsan sasabihin na ayaw namin. I mean, it's both good and bad.
Boxing scene ganyan
Oo, sa boxing din ganyan. Kasi nga masyado ng maraming instances wherein nasusunog yung fighters tsaka yung promotions kasi the what do you call this? Some media men, not all, pero a lot of media people din kasi they don't know what to write, they don't know what's happening, so they'll try to spin words.
How to ask.
They don't know how to ask. Nagkakamali talaga.
How do I write this to make this interesting?
Yeah,
something like that. Kasi
the worst are the tabloids actually.
Yeah.
They are very poorly trained and they don't know
we've
how
seen
to
them.
immerse in yung culture. I mean,
Kasi,
it's not even a very big culture. You just need to spend time in it.
Like what
just have to
Kyle
spend
did
time
when
with
he was starting out to write about MMA. How far back was that, Carl?
2010.
2010. So around 11 years ago, he was assigned to do MMA, to write about combat sports, but he didn't exactly have the best clue. So he immersed himself. Other media people are not like that. I mean,
and there are a lot of them, diba, JC?
Yeah.
There are a lot of them
who
that
were
we have
usually writing about
sit down
showbiz.
with.
Biglang nandun sila sa MMA, not knowing how to ask the fighters or what to ask the fighters.
We actually
Especially if
had
it's a growing sport.
Yeah. We actually had an episode wherein alam mo yung nangyari doon? There was a guy who was
kay Gab.
No. Yung nagkaroon tayo ng special. We had that one of our earlier episodes. We discussed this kasi it created some beef within the community na we had to fix. Kasi so there was
Gab, diba?
Yun, yung kay Gab. So nagkaroon, there was a journal, I don't want to even call him a journalist. Pero let's not give him his fame, his 5 seconds of fame. Basta he wrote about something, then he said na marunong daw kasi siya magboxing. So he wrote about it, and then it came out wrong. A lot of people
naka-secondary source siya. Hindi siya
naka-secondary or tertiary source.
And what was the damage of the piece? What was
away.
As in nag-away yung dalawang camp.
Yeah.
Kasi naghamunan sila on Facebook. Kasi naghamunan sila on Facebook. And when people do that kasi, hindi yun joke time. Hindi yun tulad ng mga, it's not a Jake Paul stuff na this is we're gonna do it for show. No, they actually, kasi we're very supportive of our teams. We're very, kasi training martial arts, doing martial arts, supporting the community, it's not just because you want to support it. It's because we've been training this all our lives. So the twisted words did not really, it left a bad taste talaga. It created beef.
Artificially created beef.
So,
okay, gotcha.
as in ano siya? So as in ako, I messaged them privately. Sabi ko, wag kayo magpa-apekto sa ganitong tao na walang alam. Hindi to atin. Nung sinabi ko hindi to atin, ganun ba? Sabi niya, sorry coach, di ko alam eh. Sabi ko hindi to taga-atin. Then I talked to others. Sabi ko hindi to taga-atin. Wag niyo pansinin yan. Gumagawa lang ng nagpapapansin lang yan. Huwag yung pansinin, di atin. Tapos, dinouble check nila. Sabi nga, oo nga, coach, di pala atin to. Sabi, so these are the words, ha? These are the words, di pala atin to, coach. Then, so public beef, public apology. Tapos. Pero kasi, the threads are still there. It's on Facebook. Pati mga estudyante, naghamunan. Kasi talagang maghintay na pagbukas na lahat, tournament, game. As in ganun. Sabi ko, right. Tapos here comes people messaging us. Uy, Tito of Fighting. Kausapin niyo naman sila. Sabi ko, ba't ko kami ginagawa sumbu?
Post-fight show na namin naging conflict resolution show eh.
It's a sad vicious cycle kasi when you're trying to promote a new sport, the editors and the newspapers, because of the business model, especially now, which is all about hits and engagement and all that, they're like, if they send somebody to your thing, half the time it's because they're either pakiusap or the sponsor said, I'm sponsoring this thing, please, So you're not getting people who really want to.
That's true.
They're just filling up a word count, and it's sad because they don't know anything, but where are they going to learn if they don't watch? But then they're going to be like, well, we want the engagement before we actually cover your sport. It's like, well, how are we going to get engagement if you don't cover it? And the chicken and the egg.
It's partly systematized.
Really
it's partly
very, very
ineptness.
And then all the money goes back to basketball. That's how we ended up with it being the number one, number 3, number 4, number 5 sport in the country.
I think it's we've reached a point wherein it's not about being who's right. It's about who's first. Ganun na yung nangyayari ngayon eh.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
Diba?
Because of the
It's always been like that
currency,
naman. Yeah.
The attention
The value
currency.
system we put it around.
It's the attention currency.
And the worst thing that happened was when we know that's a human psyche thing, but when the business model started to adjust that way and people started looking like, well, media should not be, the news should be told and not sold, right? It's just, it doesn't matter if it's popular or not. It just happened, all right? Can you just say what happened?
Yes.
But the thing is, the business model that surrounds it now is advertisers. It's an advertising-based thing because we devalued the profession of journalism by saying, we don't want to pay for this anymore because the internet's free. The internet may be free, but it ain't the actual work. The work is still journalism. It still requires a man who feeds his family to go out and dig for this side of the story, that side of the story. That guy cannot do that if he's trying to get hits and engagements and likes and shares and all that.
Yes.
He's got to appeal to the dumbest person in the room, the most chismosa in the room. And this is why the stories come out like this. It's not just sports journalism. It's the whole media landscape.
Yes.
Yeah, nagiging chismisan na lang siya. Nagiging it
because we reward it.
Yeah, and it reaches a point wherein who is the more entertaining one?
Yeah.
Diba? It's diba? Sino yung...
And it's like the fast food of information.
Yeah.
So we've gone to this junk food cycle, right? It's instant gratification. It's sugar high. It's empty calories. It's all that, but we're addicted to it. So now when you go back to some lean beef and vegetables that are steamed, you'll be like, what the hell's that? Well, that's the news, sir.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's no garnish.
Like,
Why
it's
would
no
I want
garnish.
that?
I want it seasoned and MSG and
lahat ng lahat ng flavoring.
Once you taste table food, you can't go back. And this is the worst thing we did was do that to information.
That is so 100% true. That is also one of the main reasons why combat sports has retained its level of purity because the casuals will be there because it's popular, may highlight reel finish, pero the growing community or the community is still growing and it will continue to grow kasi nga people gravitate towards the fighters, diba? They gravitate towards the art, they gravitate towards the teams. So it may be steady growth, it may be slow, pero at least we know na it's organic. Diba? It's good na there will be people there will be casuals who will join the bandwagon, pero at least even if they fall off the wagon, they have an idea na parang, okay, there was a fighter we knew back then whose name was Sugar Sean O'Malley and he was character. Diba? He was a character. Diba?
Yeah.
Diba? If I see him on a poster, I'm gonna watch that fight. Diba?
So
So,
we
I
really live for
rarely-
the times na kaya we're thankful that you're here then, James. We really live for those times na the nuances are appreciated after seeing the knockout and we discuss how it came
how
to
it
be
came
that
to
way.
be. Oh, how
Oo,
it happened.
Natutuwa kami when people are just saying na there's more to it pala than baragan or
Yeah.
bakbakan.
That was actually
Yeah.
one of the yun yung mga happy comments na nakikita namin.
Yeah.
We're receiving messages and
Parang-
comments na people saying, okay, ganun pala yung setup.
Ano palang peroneal nerve or
Oo.
something.
Yeah.
Diba?
And well,
So,
may mga comments pa dyan from like very, very casuals na like, ano ba tong sport na to? Puro akapan or
Oo.
what are they doing? Parang
Yakapan na
ganyan. And then
naman.
when they watch our episodes, watch other vlogs or other videos about MMA online ng mga who teach what's going on, they become actual fans na who slowly understand what's really going on within the realm of MMA.
like, for example, ikaw, James. So you've been a long time fan, diba? Now we know that you've been watching a lot of these things for the past few years. In your circle of friends, like how many people can you actually say share the same fandom or passion as you do when it comes to watching combat sports?
I'm in some chat groups, no, which gives me that artificial bubble as well. So I can easily think that it's more than it really is. So I guess to answer your question is when I go completely like with my group of like friends outside of that bubble, right? I just go to my, let's say, my motoring media circle and the transport sector, and I go, hey, well, it's been a long time since I've been able to do this because we don't go out anymore. But like you're in an event, go, hey, are you going to watch the fight this weekend? How many people would actually fight back and go, yeah, probably I had maybe about 4 go-to people that like.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
There used to be none.
Yeah. Remember, some of them are journalists, so like one of them might be covering like
Okay.
Mendoza's one of them,
Mhm.
and he does boxing, I think. But yeah, it's definitely growing, getting better. But the appreciation, I think now, unlike what's really nice about sport, the fighting sport, MMA and all, is because of the purity, like you said. You're not just selling entertainment. Entertainment, given, it's there. It's a vital component. But what you're really doing, and which is organic and pure, and you can't cheat, is you're manufacturing moments.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
that's what really makes it, like today, how many moments when Rose cried like that?
Yeah.
I don't care what you say, you can have all the best directors and scriptwriters in the world. You still have to put it together.
Yeah.
And it still had to happen organically in a cage with another person who has the same goal as you. You can't cheat that shit.
That's true.
And that's what makes that sport so. I'm glad that now we're getting these podcasts and stuff to be able to appreciate what goes into it, because it can look chamba. You look at Masvidal's knee and it does look like, well, the guy just ran up and kneed him in the face. Yeah. So I love it. I really love where it's going. I love the attention it's getting. Even with the Jake Paul stuff, I'm okay with that. It
What do you
brings
think
new
should Jake
eyeballs.
Paul fight next? Di ba?
Well, he's fighting Floyd next, di ba?
Hindi, Logan
That's
Paul yun.
Logan.
Logan. That's Logan.
sure.
Kiko
Jake Paul.
Matos! Yes,
Alam mo, I would Jake Paul, fly Kiko Matos out, okay? I'm going to repost that, di ba? Kasi kung naghahamunan lang din, they want entertainment,
Yeah.
they want an actual fight. We're gonna juice up Kiko kasi Kiko's like 150 lang eh. Di ba? So we gotta
150.
jack him up. Yeah, we have to jack him up ng konti. Then we have to juice him up, then
Give him
send
all
him to
the
the
beans.
States. Oh,
So what's the backstory there? Is it for the money? Is it for the fame? Is it just to beat his ass up? What's the motivation? How did that story happen?
sino to? Si Jake Paul o yung kay...
No, the backstory, Kiko. The call out and all that. How did that happen?
I think realized that okay, people gravitate towards this character, so I'm just gonna run with it. And
Yeah,
he's a
parang
really
who
good
knows,
actor. Di ba? And he's a
Yeah,
really
he's
good
an
actor.
Right?
And that was
Et,
it.
ito yun. Sabi ko, bro, I've been doing fight breakdowns, fight analysis. I've been talking to lawyers, scientists, doctors on my podcast. We have really good conversations. You, nagdilat ka lang ng mata, may hinamo ka lang ng suntukan, 4,000 subscribers in 24 hours. I love you. So I was like, I love you. You gave me hope in my YouTube channel. Sabi ko, I love you. And then, since it's the same, like what you said kanina, people know what they're getting into, but they like the entertainment value of it. And Kiko's a really, really good entertainer.
Yes.
He's
really good. And it's not na he's promoting himself. He's promoting fellow YouTubers. He's promoting other people from the boxing and the MMA community. So it brings that eyeball, that it brings that attention, diba? So yung mga call out niya, it could happen, it could not happen, pero at least number one, people are entertained. Number two, he shows off na he's actually training, and then he promotes the gym, he promotes his team. Diba? It's good. And actually, I watched the other videos, hindi naman pala hamunan. Para siyang palibasa lalaki. You watch some of the videos, nakakatawa siya. Kaya nakasabi ko pala. Akala ko naman, so buwelo lang pala na mayabang galit. Pero pag nakita mo yung next few episodes, nakakatawa siya. Para siyang palibasa lalaki. Ang galing. Ang galing.
Another Tito reference for us.
Oo, ang galing.
But do you guys feel at
Ay, sorry,
some
palibasa
point-
lalaki, Tito reference. Paki-YouTube na lang. Paki-YouTube na lang po.
Sorry, James. Yeah.
No problem. Do you feel that at any point, like that the Jake Paul effect will end up just being, because a little bit of it's great, right? Brings you eyeballs and okay, you pick up a few new casuals and stuff like that, and then everyone goes back to what they're doing, etc. But do you think there's a limit to that, or that will just exist in its own little weird space?
Freak shows are always there. It's not gonna go away. I mean, yung exhibition fights, yung things like that, where celebrity versus celebrity fight each other. It's been happening for a long time. I mean, exhibition, even say in boxing, exhibition matches in boxing have been happening since the 20s or that long. I mean, a man fought a bear a long time ago.
Exactly.
Then JC showed us a fight of Muhammad Ali against a wrestler.
A wrestler, yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, against Inoki, the Japanese wrestler.
Yeah.
Which was probably one of the first few televised MMA fights in the world in the 70s. It's annoying. It's I don't think it's gonna go away. It's nandun na siya sa entertainment
And
part.
it can't really damage it, no?
Yeah.
I mean, it can't
No,
damage
it's
it.
not.
Yeah, they say it will, but I don't think so. It's gonna be its own category
Yeah.
for sure in the long run.
If anything, it'll become a feeder series guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
because it'd be like, okay, if you're done playing there, you wanna, because Jorge, I thought, that he's starting his own bare knuckle thing soon.
Yeah.
No?
Game bred
Yep.
fighting.
game bred fighting. Diba? At least magbabranch out siya doon. Tapos it created a
We thought
different
it was a
business line
cockfighting
for
league,
him.
diba?
Oo.
Yeah, I thought it was a cockfighting league, but apparently it's bare knuckle MMA.
Grabe
We
yun.
haven't really even finished on that. We should have finished off on the main event that we were talking about. What do you think the loss does now to Jorge? I mean, I'll start by saying that I was thinking even before the fight. This is a game bred fan, right? The loss won't be as bad if it's Jorge who loses. If Usman loses, it's a bigger blow.
Yeah.
Because he's got that sort of, I think Street Jesus has this sort of Nate Diaz effect. It's not about the record at all.
Yeah.
It's about just the pure violence. It's about the show.
Yeah.
But now the question that I'm gonna pose to you is how much damage, if ever, that it was like this. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
I did not expect. I expected a loss by a foot stomp or
Decision.
or decision, not like this, or maybe even a submission, but not like this. So, do you see any damage here, or do you think he can roll off into the Miami sunset with his bare knuckle promotion and videos? He just launched that channel.
Yeah.
JC, go.
Yeah, I think Jorge has had too many losses to even give a damn about the loss today. I mean, he's now 35-15. So, I mean, if you've had 15 losses in
Grabe.
your career, would you still mind another one on it? Then he barely gives a damn about his fights. I mean, he trash talks, he shows up. I mean, yung last fight nga nila ni Usman last year was he prepared for like 6 days and still gave Usman a good fight. Yeah, I mean he's gonna pick up where he left off from here, and then most likely he's gonna try to run it back and see if he can get another title fight.
Ako pila muna siya uli. Kasi, you can't really take a rank 4 welterweight, which is currently at. He'll probably be rank 6 by the time we finish talking here. You can't really give him a serious title contention fight. Like, siguro, bigyan mo muna siya ng Damian Maia or even Stephen Thompson. Or maybe put his damn useless BMF belt on the line against whoever, like Leon Edwards or whoever can trash talk
Maybe
better.
Leon Edwards would be good.
Diba? Oh, Leon Edwards would be nice.
Dude,
He's
Sugar
a
Sean.
British
Let's just
guy.
go straight to the core, man.
Diba?
To the line
Exactly.
with Sugar Sean. I don't care if
Or
you're a different
maybe
weight
take
class.
a year off, focus on this game-bred bare knuckle thing muna.
Jorge Masvidal has built a personal brand that is uniquely his own that can survive him after any kind of loss. He has created a persona wherein people gravitate towards him because of his words. When he 'di ba, when he talks, 'di ba sinasabi lang niya, he will always say, I come here for violence, I'm gonna give you violence. Whether he wins or he loses,
Gonna get baptized.
He was
diba,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was right. It's good din naman for me. The way I see him from a business perspective is he didn't really focus on his record. He focused on himself. He focused on the image that he brought up and the perception of people with him. He also connected with his community. One really good thing that he did was I saw this on an Instagram story. Nakalimutan ko na kung saan. After the weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins, he stayed on the venue and took pictures with everyone who went on a line. So he stayed there for like an
Pinipilahan na
extra.
siya.
So there was like he stayed at the venue for like an extra 3 hours now because there was a line of people who wanted to take a photo with him. So whether he wins or he loses, those people who stood in line are absolute fans. Kasi everyone left, you stayed to take a photo with us. That resonates with people. That's gonna build his name more. So he knows that. He knows that. So para siyang si JC ba nagsabi na he has that Nate Diaz effect. Nate Diaz, whether he wins or he loses, people are gonna
will
watch
him.
to see him fight. Whether they know that he has a chance or not, it's street Jesus.
They're tuning in for the fight, not the
It is.
result.
They're tuning in for the fight. There are only a few
Not the
people who
result. Yeah.
there are only a few people who were able to do that. Cowboy
Connor,
Cerrone. Connor, Cowboy Cerrone, Nate Diaz. I have to say I'm going to put Sugar Sean O'Malley on that bracket as well. Kasi at this early part in his career,
Smart. Very
nakita
smart
ni
guy.
UFC na tumaas ang fan base demographic nila sa mga bata because of Sugar Sean O'Malley. And they thought it was the merch or no, it was his fan base at Twitch. Parang he was able to pull them into watching UFC fights.
He's independently famous. I'm
Yes.
telling you, he's independently famous outside of martial arts. So that's what my kids are telling me that about his Twitch and all that. I didn't know that. I just saw him in the UFC, and then they were saying no, he's been in gaming for this time even longer.
So
So he's
siya?
independent. He has a different following there. Yeah.
So yun yung nakikita ngayon ng mga tao. That's why the UFC is also parang halos lahat ng platforms nandun si UFC. Lahat ng social media platforms.
Same
And
with si Max
It's
Holloway,
crazy.
di ba?
Oo, same with Max Holloway. Yeah, streamer na rin gamer na rin si Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Kasi nakikita nila, okay, people's attention is here. We can probably invade that space and promote fighters. Pero yun nga, there are people who were like ahead of the curve simply because the character is within them na, okay, kaya namin gawin to. We can do that. And I actually agree with that as well. If Kamaru lost, wala. Ang hirap mag-bounce back ng career niya doon.
Yes, because of the way the way he
Yeah,
presents
the
himself.
packaging.
It's
Diba? The
yeah, and
packaging.
It's
Jorge
really
never
serious,
put
no?
his-
It's really serious, chap.
It's too serious. He's too
It's too
serious.
serious, yeah.
Jorge never put his record on the line. You're right. He
Yeah.
walked in with 14 losses. So what was
Who
like they
cares,
said,
diba?
what's one more?
Money fight, yeah.
Okay, it just happens to be in front of your home crowd and it happens to be okay, Usman. But all right, fine. People still got their money's worth. Like
Yeah.
I said, it was still
True.
a good fight. I was gonna put Izzy there, but we did get kind of traumatized with 2 fights there. At least your well fight was horrible to watch. He couldn't control that.
Yeah.
An exciting fight there. The Yan fight, well, I'm sure people who fight will appreciate it more. But as a casual, I was a bit,
Parang meh. Parang meh, no?
Yeah.
Parang meh. So yeah, you're running out of purely bankable stars that you guarantee every time they get into that octagon.
It's gonna be entertaining.
There's gonna be a show. Yeah. And Connor still provides that guy. Nate provides that. Sugar Sean, like you said, provides that.
But-
Did you guys, on the complete opposite, remember, did you see Diego Sanchez flying knee?
Oh!
It was a disaster.
Mali!
That was
Pangit!
part of his
Pangit!
spiritual martial arts now.
Oh,
Oh
pangit!
my God,
Alam
so
mo,
hard.
Diego Sanchez was on his way to that level. Alam mo yun? It just so happens that Diego Sanchez just took so many curves. Parang hindi ko alam anong pinagagawa mo.
Curves or lines?
Naliwas talaga siya sa
Para
daan.
sana nag-ano na lang, no? Sana you stayed with Diego the Nightmare
The
Sanchez.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diba? Nag-change ka
Imagine
ng...
Connor called him out.
Oo, diba? Parang
Oo.
you tried so many
Okay.
personas. Sayang.
Mike Perry.
Mike Perry is on his
Oh
way.
my God, Mike Perry.
Mike
Sayang.
Perry is
What?
on his way.
On
Kaya
his
ni
way,
Mike
what?
Perry. Kaya ni Perry yan.
I
Yung
I would
ganong
actually like
level.
Jake Paul versus Mike Perry fight.
Pwede.
I think now we could have one, but Mike's Mike's a troubled individual, no?
Yeah.
He's got some.
At the very
Ang
I
weird
mean,
niya.
I mean it with respect because he's
Diba?
liable to actually come after us, you know.
Diba? Since
Full
Diba, he
respect, man.
diba, he can like, diba, he has his girlfriend as a corner man, but he's weird.
Yeah,
Diba? There's
it's very bizarre.
bizarre.
And
I think
there's some anger issues. I think there's a lot of issues there. There's
There's
he's
some
a
mental
troubled,
issues there then.
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many.
Legit,
I mean,
yeah.
nandun siya sa ano eh. Parang you don't know where to put him.
Na siya eh.
You don't know where to put him. Parang it's either you love him, you hate him, or let's see where this happens. Let's see where this goes.
I got scared for him in the last fight because you know I love the the guy with the big heart and all that, but then when you see it, that didn't look good. It looked like it was, he's
basag yung mukha niya dun.
Oh, actually.
yeah, man.
Sira yung ilong.
What about Pettis?
Pettis in the PFL is good for the
Pettis,
PFL.
yeah. Oh, he
But he
just
lost.
He
Lost.
lost pretty
Yeah.
bad. Oh, sayang.
Very
So,
bad now, yeah. Oh, he had
alam mo-
one good moment. I think he had a really good
Oh,
moment.
sa dulo.
I think he gave him a good, incredible kick, head kick yata.
Yun nga eh.
It wasn't
Nakakategorize na si Anthony Pettis sa ganun eh. We're all just
medyo.
waiting for moments from him eh. Diba? He's not developing as a fighter. I don't
He's not-
understand then.
he's
He
not
had so much
grinding.
potential. He had so much potential. I don't understand what went wrong with him.
He
I
ate
just
too many Wheaties, coach.
Probably. Kasi ang ganda ng trajectory. He could strike, he could
sayang,
grapple, pero
Oo.
he probably plateaued and then didn't know how to overcome it. Those things happen eh. Those things happen. That happens to
Or-
fighters.
Or like they say, when the blueprint goes out, right? I mean, like
O yun din. Mm.
when Anderson got beat, and even now Connor, you can almost make a case there too for Connor's blueprints out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're wow.
Parang
The
they
only ones
break,
that are
the mystique is
Yeah.
gone. Diba?
unlike people like GSP who can continue or just continuously evolving no matter
Yep.
what. Yeah, you can find the blueprint, and it's not worth much by the next time you fight him.
Mm.
He's always moving. Did you hear his podcast with
His
Rogan?
his recent
Rogan.
The
podcast with Joe
secret
Rogan.
weapon?
Yeah.
The secret weapon one where he talks about frame by frame.
Yeah. Yung he has a guy who watches the videos frame by frame, and then they calculate how long is the reaction of each opponent with every strike. Sabi ko, grabe yun
Hindi,
ah.
no?
Super technical.
Hindi, no? Yan ang scientific approach, man.
Yeah.
Super scientific.
I always thought the blonde hair was his weakness. Kaya nung bumalik na eh.
And then nagsusuper saiyan mo data si GSP kaya siya
GSP.
naka-blind na ngayon.
Is he doing movie now?
I think he's in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier na series. Si
as
GSP.
Okay, okay. So he's filming something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, he doesn't want to fight anymore.
He doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't
Yeah,
have
he doesn't
to.
have
He's a welterweight goat.
His
And,
English is getting way
After that,
better.
what he did to Bisping, I mean, like,
That was wild.
that was
Wild,
wild. But
Galing.
did you watch Bisping's My Destiny thing on Net?
Thing, yeah.
Wala pa. Ako, I haven't.
Oh,
Pero
you gotta watch that.
his story is very interesting.
Yeah.
As
It
in
is.
yung ano nga ba yung pero ano I'll look
It's worth
I'll
watching.
watch it. I'll watch it.
My Destiny, even if you know a lot about, which I thought I did, I was still left with a very wow. I was like, this is
Right.
that was a really inspirational story, and he's tough as nails. That guy, he's
Oh
really.
yeah.
He won a championship on one eye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta give him props.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how about
He was
your
saying-
how about your local MMA experience, James? Like
yeah.
how is
it's
watching local MMA like affected your appreciation of the sport here in the country, and then
Culture of
yung
it, yeah.
how do you see it, like the community, the growth, like how entertaining is it? Diba? Kasi at least kami, nakikita namin, oy, magaling yung fighter na yun, magaling yung fighter. Pero ikaw, like from a casual fan, like how do you see
For a
the
casual fan, I haven't seen like the last ones that I would watch were URCC. So it's been a long time, and I wasn't quite the fan as I am now. I was shooting the URCC, and that's a completely different way to watch. That's not that's you're looking through a lens, and my mind was on photography. Even though I appreciated the fights, I couldn't do both. It's really just down to obviously just promotion. That's all it is, because when you put them on the world stage, like we see a lot of them fight in the one championship, right? I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
Would you I don't think you can consider that local, right? I mean, that's not the
yeah,
question.
international
I just want-
promotion sila eh.
No.
Yeah, it's an international promotion, even though they're fighting in MOA and a lot of the fighters are the Philippines. So obviously, when you put them in there, what the team of Brandon and Fulaya, which team's that again?
Lakay.
Lakay. Team Lakay. Don't they at one point had 5 champions?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
That,
Then they
that's
lost
like-
it all in one night.
Okay, well, that's the other side of the story. But at least they experienced, I'm just.
Yeah.
And so when you watch them on an international production, they're as good as anybody else out there.
Yeah.
So yes, it's definitely gets me excited, because I've seen some pretty vicious ones. I've been cage side for like Fulayang when he connects. Oh my God, it can get kind of scary. Yeah. Those street trunk legs he has. Yeah. I forget all their names now, because there's so many good ones there that you just see. I was watching like the main event, but then you'd go, my God, these guys, who are these guys? You try and take the notes and stuff. That's your question. They have all the talent, all the skill. It's just really the promotion, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Bright
All
things
right.
ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, James Deakin,
Yeah.
on the show.
Very enlightening.
Please, thank you so much again, James, for being here. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we
You
can
are
do this
now
again. And
Legit
please,
honorary.
Please.
let us know where can people find you. Anything you want to plug and promote, please do it now, sir.
Oh, well, just, Facebook is James Deakin, and it would just be great if you just hook up there. We can take it from there, but mostly cover transport. So don't expect too much of the fighting stuff over there. Guys, this has been like super awesome. Parang kwentuhan lang with friends. So it's not often you get to speak this candidly with people who know so much about the sport, and I really learned a lot today. And I always thought I was kind of well researched and stuff, but it's different when you're hearing it from you guys, from the local perspective. We're actual fighters, and we're all watching the same thing, but from different sort of angles. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
We would love to certified titos of fighting po yung mga nandito.
legit honorary. Tito of fighting.
Remember, I represent CMT.
Yes.
Zero mat time, baby.
Zero mat time.
Zero.
Team. How you can take that ruler analogy to your friends, sir.
Yes, the ruler
you sound
analogy.
really smart.
Diba?
But the problem
That's the
is
best.
Rico Robles is in one of the groups. He's I think in your group and my group. So if I recycle, I'm gonna get busted.
Well, Rico naman kasi, Rico's legit eh. Rico fought, Rico's an active, he still trains.
Boxed,
You know, that guy can fight, you know. I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. That guy can fight.
I meant to say like he's in two chat groups, so he's gonna know when I'm stealing information from here and then passing off the ruler.
Ay, hindi, wala na.
Yeah,
sabihin mo na. I'm part of the Titos of Fighting. I guested on Combat Sports Weekly, so that ups my street cred here. So,
Yes.
diba?
But like guys, anytime if you have a spare seat in the house, it's almost guaranteed every single big card I'll be there. I watch
we'll
videos every
definitely.
Sunday.
Basta yung mga super great cards. Yeah, we'll definitely
man.
reach out and have you over so that we could discuss and like follow us all on social media. Destroy MNL, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. My podcast is Coach Franco Says. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and nagbe-build na kami ni JC ng aming TikTok following. James Deakin is also on TikTok.
Yeah.
The Titos are invading TikTok, so we are there. And then please, if you have any comments, suggestions, put them down below. Follow us on our social media accounts. Once again, thank you so much for everyone who, like what we previously said,
guys.
nagulat kami na parang, what? Hanggang ngayon, number 6 pa rin tayo sa Pilipinas? Like, thank you so much.
Standing strong.
Diba? Thank you so much
Against all sports.
Diba? We're the only combat sports in sports and a sports and recreation podcast na puro basketball tsaka pro wrestling yung isa. Okay, so Combat Sports Weekly. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode of Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.
Coach Franco Says would like to thank the following sponsors for making this episode possible.
My armor of choice. Never go to battle without it. Beware the robot face. I am Knots and Crosses. Place your orders on their Facebook or Instagram pages. Just good vibes in the local jiu-jitsu scene. Check out my Ikiro Collective family at ikiro.ph. Simply Better Dentistry. Visit the Santos Dental Group and Oral Surgery Center. Book an appointment on their social media pages. Boost your immune system with Nano Silver Immune Support Supplement. Order your bottles on their social media pages. For local martial arts news here in the Philippines, visit Local MMA on Facebook and listen to one of my favorite podcasts, Destroy MNL.